Because I'm worth it.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? So I'll be here for the first hour, and then it's going to be unsupervised. So I need you guys to watch these too. X-Ray's watching the World Cup, and she's already said that she may drink. So buckle up.
So we're doomed.
We're doomed
with super chats.
Yeah, I have. You know what I did? Because first off, happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day to my American crew. This crew's like,
have you been pre-drinking?
We are 4 days late. Happy belated.
Of course I've been pre-drinking. This is chill. I stopped for an hour so that I didn't like fall over.
I hadn't noticed before, but the way you're presenting things is like where you know when you have to overthink about like saying words. I'm
like, wait, hold on.
Then we are really going.
Only a little bit. I took an hour break and I had some food, and some water.
Can you tell the chat what you put in your Prosecco? Because I lost faith in the world.
I did it to be like, to make it look patriotic. I put, it was only a little bit. It looks like a lot more. I put a little bit of edible.
Puked in there.
Yeah, but what is it?
It's edible glitter.
And what was the question I had? Wicked, does it come out the way it goes in?
Yeah, is this going to look like this when I'm, after it processes?
Blue. Will it be
gonna come out like a unicorn? Oh,
yeah. I have questions about that.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to be patriotic. Okay.
It just amazes me that someone invented edible glitter, and then they were like, "People put this in drinks," and then they do. It's like I'm not sure at what level it gets worse.
If I took a drink and it's just unicorn.
Like, if you have a kid in your life, I'm sure they'd be like, "Oh, I would love to drink glitter." We're doing it as adults.
Yeah.
Who was throwing glitter around? Like, who's using glitter in the first place? And they went, I need to eat this.
I think I don't even remember why I got it. I got it to like put on cupcakes or something. I don't remember, but I'm like, let me put it in here.
But I was too much of an alcoholic, and so here we are.
I'm like, I need to drink, but make it patriotic. The cup wasn't enough, okay? It doesn't taste any different.
I'm assuming it doesn't dissolve, and it's just like bitty.
No, it does. I put a little. No, that's why it looks like that, because it's almost like a metallic looking glitter. I put one little shake in, stirred it up. It doesn't taste any different. It
does kind of look like you're drinking paint, like metallic paint.
That's why I said it's like Smurf puke.
It does a little bit.
She's just liquidized Smurfs.
Blended Smurf.
Well, it's good. It doesn't have a taste to it, so it's okay.
Wait, what are you actually drinking though? What is that?
Prosecco.
Blue Prosecco?
Yeah, I put it in there to make it blue. It looks weird to me because like I'm looking at it and I'm like, but like it tastes like Prosecco, so my brain is like having a hard time processing what's happening right now.
They've done studies on that. So they had, I think it was ketchup, and they were making it different colors to trigger people's disgust mechanism to find out where it was. People refused to, and custard, people refused to eat green custard. But blue custard was fine. But green...
Oh, blue curacao, like that, you can do that with drinks. I'd be okay with that. I don't know. Ketchup,
we had green ketchup.
No, I would do like purple, red, like somewhere in that range would be fine. Yellow ketchup, even.
Let me find it. It was.
I think yellow also hit disgust mechanism. So yellow custard was obviously fine, but I think yellow ketchup triggered it because
mustard, maybe.
No, it was anything that simulated bodily fluids or negative bodily consequences triggered the disgust mechanism.
Is that why
you're trying to work out why?
This was a thing.
Well, no, I think you've been trained for mustard to be that color, so it's okay. But when you start changing like ketchup, your brain goes, "This is wrong and horrible."
Ew.
So I remember like begging my mom to buy this. This was like a 2000s thing, and I didn't like it, but she made me eat it because she was like, "No."
You made
You
me
made me buy
so
it.
you
And I
have
was
to
Yeah.
like, this doesn't taste like ketchup. My
Live with the
brain-
consequences of your actions.
I did. It was
taste,
like
Mom.
it kind of didn't really look like that either. Like the one I had, I just remember it being more like liquidy too. I don't know. Don't
I
get
mean, that
purple
looks pretty
ketchup.
liquidy.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd
He's
like
like,
purple
"No."
ketchup, to be honest. No, thank you.
I'm going to share this just because it's disgusting me and I've been staring at it since the start of the stream. A bakery in Thailand has gone
no! I
viral
saw
for selling
this.
a hair croissant. Keeps the recipe a secret, but the hair is reportedly made from finely shredded fat choy seaweed.
So when I saw that, I'm like, ew, is that real hair? And
No.
if it's seaweed hair, I'd be down to try it. That's fine.
I'm not. I would never.
It's,
I just it
it's
looks
creamy.
Seaweed
No,
is
stop making
fine.
it worse. Just
It
no.
is, though. You can see it. There's a reason he's eating it that way. He knows what he's doing.
Say that.
It's a
That's what it is.
It's a croissant.
A croissant.
No.
It reminds me of the bush from like Scary Movie when they're about to do it, and boom!
Yeah, he's got the like chainsaw.
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever seen
No.
like the nests of spiders that looks just like hair, and people start just millions of spiders run out everywhere?
Disgusting.
It kind of looks like that as well.
Extra protein.
Yuck.
We're off to a really great start. Maybe I really do need drinking. I don't know. I'm waiting until chat convinces me. I don't feel convinced yet.
She's not.
We've got
convinced.
6.5 minutes in, and we're already driving X-ray
She's
gold to
like,
drink.
wow, like
Yeah. I need to forget that I saw a muff pastry.
ew.
I stole that from chat. Sorry.
I
That's
still
all
think
right.
croissant was the best.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I do
Ugh.
love a good pun. But what did everyone do to celebrate 250th today? I definitely did not do anything.
One of these days, you got to be in America and like really,
if I
really be
didn't
able to
work,
celebrate it.
then maybe. But somehow I like money a lot too.
I get it.
I'm also a capitalist at heart. Isn't that like the basis of being American at that rate as well?
Yeah. Well, I mean, everyone says that like Canadian is basically America light. So, wait
Oh,
a
but
second.
is
Holy
it though?
moly!
It's always seemed more like London, like.
I guess I'm
Lulu
drinking.
was like, first off, happy 250th and drink right now, X-ray.
Drink.
Lulu,
This is
hold on,
my
hold
week,
on.
so.
Lulu, thank you so much. What do we got here? We're gonna do a couple of things.
Damn. Saucy.
It's
I need
damn
to feel this.
saucy. That's exactly what it is. All right, cheers, my Smurf drink. It honestly
Ooh,
it looks brighter on camera than it does in person.
that burns my tummy. I think I might get drunk really easily today.
Uh-oh. Thank you, Lulu. I hope you're having a great day with the fam, eating lots of goodies and, America stuff.
America. I
Yeah.
wish I had barbecue. That's one thing that I didn't do today.
I did. I had the burger was so good. When it's not that it's been a while since I had a good burger, but me and my mom grilled and it was just like, oh man, like it hit. You know what I mean? Like when you have just like a really good burger and you're gonna think about it for like a week. This Drew's like, no.
I'm a man. I don't get that obsessive over food.
I do. It was very
It's a
good.
girl thing to be obsessed about food.
Well,
I
yeah,
get it.
It's what Gary's been saying about Supergirl. You know Anna Noguera wrote it because the villain just turns up and steals other people's food. That's what he does in every scene.
Hey, that's what girls do. Oh, I don't want fries. I'm good without fries.
Eats half the fries.
come.
Mm.
Every time.
It's grounds for divorce, that one. Absolutely. It's
This Drew's like, I'm not, never getting extra
Yes.
fries. You touch my fries, you're out.
Exactly. You
Really?
already asked them if they say they don't want food, they can't have any food. They need to learn the consequences of their actions.
He's got to train his women.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
There's also this on the topic.
He has something for everything.
A whole island where men aren't allowed. Supershi Island in Finland is a women-only retreat. Founded in 2018, sold for over $1 million in 2023, and still enforcing a strict no-men policy. Except when something breaks and they bring in a man to fix it.
Oh
You don't
no,
need
I was just about to
any
say
men
that.
except to fix things. I love that.
Like, this is amazing until we need one, and then they go.
Oh no. Joey, don't share food. Yeah, I was thinking that from Friends. That's just Peru.
That's the
Um,
thing. It's like if you get asked, like if you don't get asked, fine. But if you get asked, what do you want? You're like, I don't want anything. You could at least say, I'll just eat off yours, which would be weird. Which is why you
That's
don't say it.
it's you
yeah,
know,
they come to open the
it's an
jars.
unwritten rule that the girlfriend eats everything you have, I think,
Yeah. Yeah,
from what I
that's
know.
fair. From
That's just
personal
your rule.
experience.
Like, that's what I do.
She's just like, oh,
Well, to be
that's my
fair,
French fry now.
I share everything usually. If you want, I don't mind sharing. So I come from like, Chinese food where you share all the things on your plate. There's a freaking huge lazy Susan that you eat off of instead of having your own
Yeah.
plate.
I've never liked that way of serving food. Like lots of little plates that every single person takes from.
Okay, Hurts.
Over here, it's definitely more you get your own plate and the plate has stuff on it rather than
Yeah.
the
Dating-
grab and go thing.
Dating white people, I've learned that that's like very much their way of eating.
Mm. There's like 500. I always see in Korean dramas and things, they have like 50 different little plates. And I'm just sitting there thinking, that's a lot of washing up. Like, you could just have one plate, it'd be fine.
Well,
It
and
is a
like
lot.
Chinese, or at least the Asian people I know, they don't believe in dishwashers. So they're hand washing all of
Well,
them.
in America, the women are the dishwashers. So
One and the same, okay?
The God's women and the dishwashers.
yes. So this is random, but I thought this was hilarious. Disbrew sent this. Matt Smith is pretty funny, and this
Yeah.
I liked this.
Keanu Reeves was once spotted watching Morbius on a flight.
Fuck off.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he loves you.
I love Keanu Reeves, but he's like, like you get like a man, mate. Keanu Reeves, what a movie star.
The movie star.
I just think he's the best. He was watching Morbius.
He's watching Morbius on a flight. What do you watch on flights?
Not fucking Morbius. Jesus Christ. My God, he must have really gone through the BA library to be getting to that.
He was drunk.
Yeah. What was he? He was having a moment. It's on the Valium or something. God. No, but what a legend. I love Keanu Reeves.
That's hilarious. And you know what? I think we can all agree, even though I haven't seen Supergirl, but between you guys and Vera and stuff I've seen online, I feel like I've seen it. Morbius was better. I think we could all agree that that's something that was
Never
better.
watched it.
It was going to make more
Morbius?
money by the looks of it.
It did. It seemed like it already did. And isn't Supergirl just like going down and down every weekend?
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. So Morbius was beating it. Then Supergirl had a little bit of a comeback and peaked over Morbius's numbers. And now it's beneath it again. So there is a fight going on of who can be trashed the most. But of course, Morbius made more internationally. So that's probably what's going to kill Supergirl in the end.
The international numbers, yeah.
What got me about that, though, I always kind of assumed that he's in Hollywood doing a lot of big shows. I thought he would have met Keanu Reeves by now. Like at some kind of event or party. He was that big of a fan. It's what I like when celebrities like fangirl over another celebrity. Like, wait,
Like when
you
you-
haven't met him?
Like when you
Does
see it on a red
Keanu
carpet, like, oh my gosh, did
go to parties?
so and so just go behind me? And they're like, I've seen it, yeah.
Well, like, I just assume it like the Oscars or
Has
maybe it's
Keanu
wrong, but I
won
would have
an
thought like
Oscar?
no, but I think like when you're releasing John Wick 4, I figured you would do so much marketing, you would go to so many parties for that kind of thing,
Maybe
to
he
wine and
doesn't.
dine, to raise the funds. I just kind of
does.
thought they would.
He
Yeah.
probably does the red carpet and maybe a little bit of like the party, but not like the after party or anything like that. And I would say Matt Smith, he is like very talented and he's very out there, but he's more in the realm of television. He has done some movies, yes, but I wouldn't say Keanu's definitely more famous than Matt Smith. Although Matt
Yeah.
Smith should realistically be more famous. He kind of flies under the radar.
He is. He's kind of
What-
like he's definitely not like B level, but he's like you're right. Like he's like right under A level because everyone knows who he is. He's the reason why a lot of people are still watching House of the Dragon. He's honestly the best part of the show for me. Are you guys watching that by the way? Are you
Yes.
keeping up?
Yes.
I didn't from season 1. But the thing
yeah.
is, when I started watching season 1, that's why I stopped watching it, is because he was the only thing I liked in the series. Was his when he wasn't on the screen, I didn't like it. When he was, I thought it was great. It was like
He's
he
good.
was carrying it for
Yeah.
him. So.
And watching season 1 to this season, it's like night and day. The writing, it's just not as good. There's little quips that you have like with just like interaction. It's not all verbal, whereas like now it's and then and it doesn't feel like there's subtleties that you have to try and catch.
Yeah. It's
What-
so season 1 was it's going to be the best season that they do. They're supposed to do one more after this, and I think even if this next season is way better than what we got last season and what we're getting this season, I think season 1 is going to stand out as the best. And it sucks because then, season 2 came and it felt like a filler. We watched like half of it together. Me and Extra Girl, because we were traveling at that time.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was the only fun part. No, okay. It was a good show, but like
They were
it was
driving along the
No, no,
road,
no, I
projecting
mean
it onto
that-
the
no,
windscreen,
no.
and they're like, "Good luck, everybody!"
No, I meant that.
Balls, I got it. Okay.
No, I meant that was the only good part of the show, like watching it, because I got to watch it with you. That's what I meant. It wasn't awful season 2, but it was like it was just slow. It was filler, and then the end of the show or the season, whatever, was supposed to be what we were getting for the beginning of this season. So it's like I'm a little worried that because these first 2 episodes of this season were like season finale quality, that it's going to start getting really slow, like in the middle of the season.
I feel like there's so much that is going to happen that they're gonna rush season 3 now. So in
Probably.
6 episodes, however long I think we have left.
I think so. Yeah.
I just think, from what I know about the book, it's not written that way. There's like a very small amount of actual text. It's more lineage that has to be filled in. And so in season 1, George was working with them, and then George doesn't do any work. And so afterwards, they had to start making it up, and George got more and more annoyed because they weren't working with him when he doesn't do any work. I'm just wondering at this point how long it's going to be before people stop working with George and actually start working with other authors that have finished work. Like,
Well,
I don't know why they keep rewarding this fat, lazy slob that can't finish anything.
Dang. You're not wrong though.
No.
Well, that's why I think people are excited that Brandon Sanderson is going to start doing stuff, because that's someone else that I've only read the one book of his, and I definitely want to catch up on more, because I did like
Which book did you read?
was it Skybound? Hold on, let me look on my Audible.
I think there's a Skyward or something. Yeah, I've not read that one though.
Skyward, it was that, not Skybound. Yeah. And I liked it.
So yeah, he's already written the Mistborn script. That I think that was handed in like June, the first draft to that, and now he's come out and said he's writing the entire Stormlight Archive series on his own.
I hope it's good. Now, writing a script is different from writing a book, but at least he's kind of like the lore master and continuity.
I wonder how different it really is, though. I imagine a script would just come down to what do I cut out and compress, rather than like the verbiage between everything isn't different. Maybe you have to get into how to write show notes for the people so that they can create your world for you.
Yeah, the show notes and the actions, because I mean, I haven't watched it. I haven't read the books, so I don't know how like descriptive the text is when it comes to like movement of the characters in relation to each other and how they interact. So that could be something that would be harder for him to convey, because he hasn't done it in the books. But like I said, he has a vision. So
I imagine it's not been done in like the formal script manner, but I don't think that'd be hard to adapt as such.
yeah.
Just because the Stormlight Archives are such massive books, like 48 hours to read and things, in an audiobook. Cutting them down to 10 episodes is probably going to be the biggest challenge. But this is a case of every single thing he changes is his own decision at this point. He will be blamed for it. If it's bad, he's only got himself to blame. It is a lot of kind of stuff to take on, because George just blames everyone else. So, they weren't listening to me anymore. And then it turns out that actually he was refusing to respond to emails and stuff. So he had a way out. Whereas if his movie sucks and his TV show series sucks, That's it. Or it could be the other way around, where he takes the entire sole credit and becomes like the next big thing.
Yeah. Well, if it sucks, you
That's
can
very
always
lame.
take the playbook and blame the fans.
Yeah, I mean that's what
well-
that's the Hollywood playbook. You're right.
Yeah, but then he would destroy his entire reader base. That is the one thing where we could probably be like, okay, yeah, you can't really do that one.
No, you really
Um,
can't. But
It's like, I mean, it's our
Nope.
fault. It's actually probably specifically Dis Peru's fault that Supergirl failed.
Yes. I'm
Yes.
sure it has been at some point.
Not-
Just
not
me
very well
specifically.
Just
honestly,
Dis Peru.
if you dressed up as Supergirl, I think
Oh
it would
my-
be better.
Oh my gosh, I would love to see that.
I'd look like less of a Neanderthal.
What? Yeah, I mean,
My
Not
favorite comment
wrong.
is still no, but I really think she's a great actress. She did really well where she had to play a daughter of generations of incest.
ooh.
Honestly, I do think she's a good actress, at least from like House of the Dragon and I guess this. I know she was in a TV show. I probably should watch.
Sirens. I watched it.
Is she good in it?
She's fine, and that's a picture like when I showed you guys last week of her like dressed all preppy and pink and girly, and you're like, oh, she looks fine because she actually is smiling and she's dressed feminine. She's not like drop dead gorgeous, but she looks like normal in that show. She plays like this assistant to this really rich lady.
She looks
Yeah.
like she would be a sorority girl, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she looks
Exactly.
out of place. She looks awkward in that because and maybe it's just because I've seen her on the red carpets and stuff. She never dresses up in a feminine way. She's
Mm-mm.
always kind of hiding herself. That's why I think she probably was good casting for the type of Supergirl that they wanted.
Yeah.
Just that's not Supergirl. That's never going to be a Supergirl that's going to be a success. And so the entire problem with that, with casting her in the first place, is you misjudged your target audience. The one they wanted, young women, was by far the lowest demographic that went to see the movie.
Yeah, that's what I guess their target demographic was like the blue-haired cat ladies at the Mary Sue.
No, it was women under 25, supposedly. It's what Millie Alcock was saying she really wanted to see in the cinema.
I really want women
Yeah.
to have no drive and to be messy and not care and just whatever.
But
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
problem
Checks out.
is, it's a superhero movie. Girls under 25 don't want to go see a superhero movie.
No.
Not really,
Mm.
no.
And not even girls middle aged. Girls want to see Jason Momoa topless. Or David Cornsweat. If David Cornsweat was topless, I'm sure more tickets would sell.
I mean,
Well,
even
and if he
Zack
acted like a man
Snyder-
in the movie.
Well, that's
even
like-
Zack Snyder knew that. Like he had Henry. How many times did he have Henry shirtless in
Ooh.
Superman? A couple times.
a couple times.
He's like
Yeah,
fan
but
service. Bam.
Also, though, his Superman does the aura farming well. There's moments where, for instance, it is though. That's exactly what it is. It is like where the laser beam is literally on him, and you're thinking he could just step 5 paces to the right and he'd be out of the laser beam, but he doesn't. He flies up through the pissing laser beam to destroy the entire ship. That is the kind of cool, inspirational thing of, oh yeah, it's got to be tough, but you've got to do it anyway. Whereas Supergirl's is just give up whenever you have a bit of challenge. And everyone kept going to her background, and her background was, some people died. It's like, oh, did-ums. And
That's
they-
ridiculous.
like everyone has to deal with death. This isn't some incredible torture you had to go through.
Now, this right here, a major studio head
Oh.
says Gen Z does not care about superhero movies. That genre belongs to millennials. I would argue that it even kind of belongs to Gen X a bit more. Like millennials too,
Well-
yes, but like think of like the 80s, right? Like they loved
So-
all
This is Gen
the-
X.
like my
millennial
the actual-
brother.
movies.
The actual article that comes from is this,
Oh,
and
thank you.
it's right at the bottom. Gen Z doesn't care about superhero movies. It belongs to millennials. So it actually
doesn't care about superior. Oh, gee.
Yeah, the genre belongs to millennials. But the
Oh, I
thing
thought
is,
you
I
said
don't.
superior for a second. I'm like, well,
No, well,
I mean, I don't disagree with that either.
I do think that superheroes are superior. That's the entire point of them. That they're not equal to everyone else. That's why dragging them down doesn't work. But I don't think that it's Gen Z's fault that they don't like superhero movies. I don't think it's not something of their
right, he's
generation. Yeah, their entire life they've been awful. Of course they don't like it. Who
It's like
would?
Yeah.
Endgame finished, because that's basically the millennials. And then phase 4 started and it wasn't good. So you never captured the next generation as they were growing up from teens to young adults. So if they continued to do what they were doing, maybe they would have. I don't know 100%. especially with TikTok, they're not into as many movies. They want the meme movies.
They do. They do. Like that. What was that one that we were looking at? The
Minecraft.
animation that's coming out that
Oh.
looks like it was made for TikTok. I think is Haley Steinfeld voicing in it. The witch one, the witch cartoon that looks like Pixar kinda or DreamWorks.
Oh, I don't remember.
We were
have
talking
no
about it,
idea.
and it looks like it was filmed for TikTok. The way it was, like if you cut it in TikTok frame, like it's completely like right in the center.
I've seen that on a few things. I can't remember who. There was
I
another
can't
one
remember.
where someone did actually cut out the TikTok version and everything was centered and put to music. I do wonder if there are things like Supergirl, what you would find if you did the same. With everyone's
Is it
complaining about the final song at the end.
Let's see.
I think it's probably the same thing. Anything they start putting to music is probably aimed at TikTok at this point.
Yeah.
But this article,
Yes.
this
it was
article is
Hext.
kind of
It was Hext. Sorry. Go ahead.
this article is kind of wild, because it's flopped so hard now that they're clearly looking for some kind of excuse and people to blame. And so this is kind of going, no, it's not Millie Cox's fault. It's not the movie's fault. It's not anything else. It's actually James Gunn. They were testing competing cuts. The director, Gillespie, whatever his name is, lost control of his own movie because Gunn took over. And it goes into things like, where does it start? So oh god, it's going to be the highlight thing.
Well,
they're not creatively aligned. There's normal amount of friction and that kind of thing. And then it says, the studio enlisted a different writer to try and take over. This writer is previously this is Gunn's favorite writer who's written things that he's never released. Then there was another time where they added in a so then goes into the music, whereas Gunn and Gillespie started fighting over the different music for the movie, especially the final needle drop. And then they brought in a separate editor who'd edit a separate cut. And because these test screenings did awfully, the studio just pitched both of them. You had Gunn's cut versus Gillespie's cut, and they were just like, we're going to take ours, even though Gillespie's won. And it's really trying to attach all the faults to Gunn as if he sunk the movie.
I mean, that is bad. That's a bad studio head. You know, you should probably listen to the people that just watched the movie and not put your own movie out. Okay. And now I kind of want to watch the Gillespie cut.
Watch just like I'm guessing that it wouldn't be like groundbreaking, but do you think if say that they used this and made her a little bit more like Jessica Jones in the sense where like, yeah, she's a drunken mess, but she actually cares about people, right? And she tries to do good. Do you think it would have been a little bit better if they would have at least added that into it, like her admitting to her mistakes and trying to be a little bit better? Or was the writing just so bad that wouldn't have even saved it even a little bit?
It does say what was different. I can't remember exactly where in the article it is, but it says major differences emerged. His was 11 minutes longer and featured more of the villain. There was also his version scored better on song choices, pacing, and villain. So the one thing that this article doesn't touch is Supergirl at all. It's like they're staying away from both Anna Noguera and Supergirl as the problem, and they're desperately trying to blame either Gillespie or Gunn.
Well, I think that regardless of which cut it is, Millie and Anna's performance is probably similar. So if it has to do with pacing and the amount of time that the villain is in it, that's editing, right? So you cut things out that the villain did, or background information. Definitely scenes were cut. 10 minutes is a huge difference. And then the music choices. I think if they did classic, scores for this, very uplifting, you probably could have AI'd these songs and it would have been better than a lot of the song choices because it felt like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh my gosh, Vera sent me the middle, like it's the Jimmy Eat World song, the middle, but it was like women. Oh, it was awful. I was like, ew.
Jimmy Eat the World was the final fight soundtrack. Yeah. And Gunn wanted it to be Cyndi Lauper's Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
No.
As the final battle. And
I think both are bad because maybe if they would have done actual Jimmy Eat World, but it was a cover and it did not sound right. It sounded really bad.
Yeah, but girls just want to have fun. As Supergirl is out there murdering 100 different people, is
That's him
probably
trying
not
to
the
be
message
edgy.
you want to send.
That is definitely that
It's
is something
obsession
he would
all over
do.
again.
I'm not even remotely surprised. That is the edgy James Gunn humor right there. Like, oh my gosh, he's just having fun. Like, you know what I mean? He thought he did something there. So I'm not saying that would have been better. They're both awful choices. Like maybe if they would have stuck to Jimmy Eat World and not made it a cover, I didn't like the pace of it and what they did with it. That just was not
either
good.
or it wouldn't have fit. These songs are for at the end when you have a girl powwow moment or in the credits.
Yeah.
It's what was better because someone edited over it is just standard orchestral epic music. It's a hero fight. Make it seem epic. Make Supergirl like as she's flying up. That's supposed to be where all the music soars, and you're supposed to feel really cool. But they don't want to do that. They want to piss around with pop music because they got known for it in one movie, and they have to put it in everything now, essentially.
Yeah. Or put some metal music at the like something like harder hitting than like girly pop. No,
I'm kidding. Yeah, no, it was all bad.
But the thing is, so when they competed, the two different versions, the studios inched out ahead of Gillespie's, but only by 2 points. They seemed to prefer Gillespie's on all the points that people didn't like when it came to the actual crowd. And then the studio, when it means gone, which was like, no, we're doing ours. So it argues whether it's normal or not. The movie was never tested again. And at some point in this, it says what was strange is that when they were tested solos, they got into like the 60s and up to 70. When they tested them at the same time versus each other, the scores plummeted. It was like the audience could stick one movie. The moment you showed them two different versions, they hated it. Like it was too boring and dull for them, kind of thing. And then after this, it just keeps going in on Gunn. It is sort of where is it? Supergirl's failure does put a scrutinizing spotlight on Gunn, and it goes in to say how all his problems, how he's put himself as the face of all the movies, all the failures are his fault. He was the one that ruined the movie, and it's his heavying hand that destroyed it. And I've never really seen something like this come out so obviously as a hit piece, just for a head of a studio. It's kind of wild.
Do you think what is it, Man of Tomorrow, that's the next Superman one? Do you think if that one fails that they're going to get rid of him or they're going to keep giving him chances?
Well, it seems to be suggesting that Allison should. It brings him up in this and says that Gunn's contract runs out at the end of 2026 or 2027, which gives Allison the perfect opportunity. So they're kind of pushing him out the door.
Like, if this was one of the big moments of his career is choosing between Gillespie and his cut, and he chose his cut, even though the reviews of the people who were there that they prefer Gillespie's, that is a bad move as a studio head. He put emotion in it.
Yeah.
He wanted to put himself in it as he self-inserts himself in every movie except his wife, you know. He likes to insert other people there, but
I'm surprised she wasn't in it. Like as one of the captured women being used for bedroom time to repopulate the species. I'm surprised we didn't see her and Krem have a scene together.
Yeah, can you imagine? Or like a lesbian scissoring scene.
But he even put himself in the opening for the Creature Commandos animated series. He's in there like writing. I'm like, what, for what? Like, for what reason are you in there right now?
You're not Stan Lee, okay?
Yeah, that's probably what he thinks.
Out of your own butt.
Yes, I didn't even think about that. That's probably what he thinks. But the thing with Stan Lee was like maybe he signed something that he had to be put in, but they wanted him in there and fans wanted him in there. It was like an Easter egg. Like, there he is, there's Stan. And then, you know, when the last film came that he was in, everyone's like, that's the last one we're going to see him in. Like, we wanted to see him. We don't want to see James Gunn.
Oh.
Yeah, but he wasn't in the intro. Like you say, he was like a little extra that doesn't actually matter in the background somewhere. Maybe there's a car that drives past and there he is. And I think he took that from Hitchcock that used to do it where he would just walk behind as an extra in the background somewhere. Whereas Gunn is just egotistical. It's like, notice me. I did this. That's why he was in all the Superman marketing. He genuinely thought his face could sell that movie. It's like, nobody cares about you. You're not that big a deal. That's why your movie is like number 4, 80% drop Friday to Friday. That beats what everyone thought.
Ooh.
It's projected by Deadline to lose 76 over the entire weekend.
Wow.
So there is no recovering. It's 4th. It's been out for 8 days and it's 4th.
Like,
have you got? Go to the box office. It was projected to make 55 plus by the end of the first weekend. Yeah, but by the end of the first weekend, 55 plus, it still hasn't reached it after a week.
Oh.
I knew there was going to be an issue when I looked at, like I said, City Walk and Disney Springs, which were like two of the bigger theaters in Orlando. And on opening night, there was like 10 seats sold. And then Spider-Man, which is still a month away, was sold out. That says a lot.
The big problem is people are noticing patterns. So when you have messy woman lead, these tropes, people immediately just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Who wants to? Who wants to go and watch a movie about a woman vomiting over herself? Like the moment you said that, the people in Hollywood should be like, no one wants to see that. Why? What do you mean? Like, it's just a stupid description. And you can see it in the average per theater. So Obsession is still around in the theaters, but it's also on digital now. You can just watch it at home. And it's only like, what's that, like 17% behind Supergirl?
And it's been out for over a month.
Yeah, theater per theater.
In Obsession, there was puke.
Yeah, but they did it in a
but it was designed to
disgust
you
way and disgusting. But there was like, I don't know, there was parts of that movie that I know were supposed to be like, that was gross, but I did laugh because it's like, it was so absurd. Some of the scenes, right, that you couldn't help but laugh, like when she's like runs backwards, like those stuff, like, yeah. I actually want to buy that one on physical if they have like a special edition. I think they had a PR box that was going out to people with like t-shirts and stuff, and I was like, oh, I want that.
We're not influential enough for
we're not influencers. Someone send us the shirt, please.
My favorite are the Disney influencers. When you look up their channel and they're like, how did you get invited to these things? What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
generally some identity group. That's what it is. Like, if I called mine Africans for Movies, I'd probably get in.
I would join an Obsession identity group. And I mean, X-Ray already can do the smile. She doesn't even need to try. This is how she looks.
You know what? Jay can do the smile too. He's my half Asian brother.
It's true. Actually, he can, and he's already used in the movie. He has no idea. I don't think so. Maybe.
Now, Superman has the Supergirl talk has exposed something to me, which I think is an important issue, and it's one of grammar. Look,
grammar.
It's dumb that Superman's name has a Latin prefix and an English suffix. If anything, he should be called Overman or Super Homo.
Dang. What?
Super homo.
You have to maintain your. It's either a Latin word or an English word. Like you can't be mixing Latin and Germanic language. It just doesn't work.
I like super homo. Sounds
so
like
does Dame's Gun.
Sounds like a pride parade.
It's not June anymore. Stop it, guys.
Look, it's probably going to be in the next Peacemaker. It's like,
oh my gosh, there's going to be a special episode made just for that. An hour special.
Corhart. I forgot her name.
I don't think you. I think you were just pulling your hat down, but
it's too big.
The way you did it, it was no. But you're like, they're going to make a special thing just for that, and it did look like you were like nodding at the camera with it, like a cowgirl.
Timing. Yeah.
Just for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be like Disparu. I think that's how I ended my stream yesterday. Someone said that I was being like you because I think I was like going on a rant before I ended, and I was like, no, this is how I do it. See ya, and then I ended my stream. Like, that's Disparu. But if they would have, the sad thing about this is that they could have, even people who weren't interested in Supergirl, if they would have just made a cool action movie, like an example, which I finally watched Mortal Kombat 2. You guys both enjoyed it. I understand the story wasn't like fantastic or anything, so I understand why fans. I'm a fan of Mortal Kombat, so I know the story a bit.
You've been playing it too.
Oh yeah, that one sucks though. Oh my gosh, the story's awful in the newest game. But the movie, I had a good time with it. It was fun. So I understand
like
why you guys said the
movies.
action. Yeah, and it was funny, and so yeah, but I do understand why like big fans were like, hey, because the story itself was lacking, but I forgave it because I just thought it was entertaining. If they would have done something like that with Supergirl, I think it would have worked. Just give us an action movie. Put her in
more straightforward.
Yeah, and put her in like a sexy outfit. Don't make her like, just that's a big thing. It's for
make
guys.
her happy, smiley, smiley for the male gaze. Probably give her some kind of romance thing that she gets with at the end, and have her be inspirational and stop some evil guy.
Yeah,
it's not complicated to make superhero.
It's not.
The porn version will probably be better.
Oh yeah. I'm sure there already are ones that are better.
Probably.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Chat, let me know. I don't want to do the research on that.
Yeah, let us know, please. Well, while you guys look into that, I am gonna catch up on supers. Mongoose for £5 says for the shot goal. Well, you know what? I'll take a sip. Even though I put it in the private chat, I'm like, I'm kind of regretting the glitter now because I had some on my lip, but it's
It could be a nice lip glitter. That's
I'm
fine.
just swallowing solids.
well, there was a little
glitter.
bit on the rim. I just turned it around. So that was my fault for sloppily mixing this drink before I ran up here.
Does your tongue turn blue as well with that?
Nope.
Interesting.
It's not blue. I had to look down, even though I can't look in the camera. Maybe I need to put it down. Deranged Lunatic, thank you for the $1.99. Happy Independence Day from England.
That's US dollars. How are you?
It's Deranged Lunatic. We don't question. We just move on.
I think I do have a happy Independence Day from England, actually.
What do you have? Hold on. Hold on, Thread.
Happy 4th of July to all you treasonous rebels out there. Happy Treason Day. Ungrateful colonial swine.
Hilarious.
and it is just a hot woman in the red uniform.
Disparu should have came on with a red coat. For anyone in chat that wants to attack him today, just do it.
So that's Ian.
No, Thread for $4.99 says, I'm proud to be an American where at least I have AC. It's
That's
summer,
to
at least I know I'm
AC.
free.
AC is amazing. I don't know how one lives without AC.
I know a lot of
You
the
live
people-
where it's not hot.
Well, I'm in Florida, so I freaking need it, man. They take my AC away from me. I'm out of here. I'm gonna die. Andrew Thomas, thank you for the 5. Happy 250 America to the most beautiful American cowgirl, Wicked, and her subjects, X-Ray Disparu, haven't given her presents for treason.
Are you saying that Wicked is taxing us now? It's like she is. Oh, what was his? The Sheriff of Nottingham. She is coming to increase our taxes. We have to retreat to the forest.
I do have a hat now, so maybe I am sheriff. Chick, thank you for the $4.99. Happy 4th to the only American on stream, X-Ray Girl.
I'm a North American, technically.
Thank you,
talking
Chick.
about continent.
Like she's American light, like diet American. You know, she's almost there.
Like I'm
The no
white,
sugar American.
white adjacent. so I'm
America
American.
Zero.
I'm like the hat of America. I like to be on top
That's not gonna get
of America.
Oh my gosh. Cynical Crusader, thank you for the £2. Happy Treason Day. American Flag, X-Ray Girl, Stargate 1 episodes are great. Are you having a good time with that?
Oh my god, they're amazing. The last 2 episodes were fantastic, especially from the feminist episode before feminism. So just the story, the flow, and just it feels like how when I watched Star Trek, the original series, like just everything is so different, so well thought out, and like it's a masterpiece in comparison to Supergirl.
Yeah,
and you've been
it's
watching
kind of-
every episode like live, right? Watch-alongs? Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of shows you like Next Generation things showed you the same thing, that some of the better episodes are just where they had no budget. And so they were just like, well, we're just stuck in a room. What we're going to do? And it forces them to focus on like the ideas and the communication and like the speech rather than just what now seems to be, we'll just do some CGI. And they're so busy worrying about like the big set piece they're trying to do, they forget the actual just like basic interaction.
And you can, at least with sci-fi that I've learned, you can do a lot of forgiving when it's a good story. Because there are some scenes, and especially if we look at Star Trek, the fight scenes are abysmal. What are they doing?
With Star Trek foo, because they had to design something, because Klingons and Vulcans and things are just multiple times stronger than humans. And so they're like, well, how on earth are they going to win a fight? So they just made them fight weird and said, that's actually the superior way of fighting. Just don't think about it.
Just don't think about it. It's like button mashing in a fighting game. Just do it.
You just have to accept that if you do that, actually, that triples your strength or something.
Market Reality, thank you for the 10. You already know I went on opening day of Stargate and there were only 3. Oh, sorry, Supergirl. We just talked about Stargate, so I'm like,
Sorry, yes,
I read it as
yeah.
Stargate as well, to be fair.
And there were only 3 people in the theater. I've seen predictions that Supergirl will make 10 million next weekend. Is that even possible?
I don't think so. And I actually appreciate that people will still go watch these things so that they can have an opinion, not base it on other people's opinion. So we're not all just parroting off each other.
So when he says next weekend, I assume he means this weekend, because 10 million is what Deadline predicted for this weekend, which would be a 73% drop. And then in the same article, they lower it a bit because I think they rounded up, which goes to a 76% drop. So
I mean, domestically, if they make even 8 million, I'd be surprised. Because like I thought Supergirl would make more in the first weekend. And to be fair, I think a lot of the marketing didn't help. If they just shut up, I think they could have hit that 50 million, but they didn't. And then you get the super nerds who are on the internet all the time talking about it.
I love
This is
her
the
like,
result.
if you just shut up, but she's right. Like, very simple, but if you guys would just shut up.
Well, I think in total as well, I don't just mean Millie Alcock, but I mean their marketing in general. If you stopped going around telling everyone she was a disgusting, repulsive piece of trash,
The clip sucked.
Yeah, it's like, even if you wanted to tell that story, marketing your movie that way isn't going to fly. And so you should have marketed, well, you should have first put it in, but then shown the better version of her at the end, or shown the arc in a trailer, so that, yeah, she's not going to be disgusting the entire way through. The core concept of the movie, they weren't even intelligent enough to lie about it, is the problem.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens this weekend, I guess, right? Maybe they thought 4th of July weekend, people have off, but I highly doubt that they're gonna be like, oh, let's go see Supergirl. Some people will, of course, but I mean, people are going to be having cookouts and like, you know, doing 4th of July stuff, going to the beach. If they go to the movies, honestly, they're probably going to go see like Obsession, because you see how that's only such a small percentage behind.
Would rather.
Yeah.
There's Minions, there's Toy Story 5, there's Young Washington. This is why Supergirl's already 4 of today. So, yeah, who's going to... So, the celebration weekend may increase, probably will increase, the amount of people going to the cinema. But who's going to go and watch 4 movies? You're going to put something else before Supergirl if you're going to watch any
gonna pick, like,
number.
If you have kids, it's going to be Minions or Toy Story. And then,
if
like,
you're an adult, Obsession.
Most
Or
likely.
Back Rooms.
Yeah,
Backrooms is still around. Jackass.
Yeah, even
There's still Scary Movie, although that's dropped off a cliff. That's 9th.
I thought about it. I was like, the one day I had some time and I was like looking at what was in, and I'm like at this point, I'd rather go see Obsession. And Michael was even still in theaters. I was like, I would rather go see one of those. Like, I think I'm gonna wait for Scary Movie to go to streaming, because I'm just like, I don't know, the hype was so bad over that. Like, everybody was just like very like lukewarm about that movie. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to waste my time going.
If I've seen all the movies already and I need to go to a theater for AC, I guess I'll see Supergirl. Maybe.
If
I
it's
think I'd
hot
rather
and
just
my
put a
AC's
fan
broken.
Oh yeah, Young Washington. I think a lot of
Oh,
a lot of people
yeah.
are watching that.
Yeah, that's
actually,
3rd.
That's probably, at least for like America, that's going to be probably more popular on 4th of July. So yeah, I forgot about that.
It may double what Supergirl did, so.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to get a couple more supers. Black Kane, thank you for being a member for 9 months. The pacing of Stormlight, especially with flashbacks and unreliable narrators, will be tricky to pull off in live action.
Well, if anything, I mean,
I can find that on
depends what you mean by the pacing, but the live action would actually be the easier way to fix that. If you have problem with the pacing in the book, well, you can change it. You can cut out the bits that drag, or the 5th time that he gets really depressed and doesn't want to be a slave anymore. So you can skip over things and make the pacing just far more consistent, because you have to cut loads of stuff anyway. So I think it gives the opportunity, if you have a problem with something, to fix it. Like, I've never been against changing things in adaptation. It's always... I think the reason why sticks to the source material became such a firm rule is because they knew if you change anything, you're going to make it worse. But if it's the author doing it, then if anything, you might think he has time to improve it and refine it as he has more time to work on it.
So Stormlight isn't on Audible. I want to get another Brandon Sanderson story on Audible. I don't see it on my Audible. It shows up all the other ones. It was Oathbringer one that you suggested to me.
Stormlight wasn't for a while, but I'm sure he put his books back on Audible.
Let me see.
So
Maybe I'm
you,
just
what
not-
you're probably the Stormlight Archive is a series.
Oh.
Yeah, if you search for the Stormlight Archive, it comes up because it's on .co.uk.
Okay. Well, maybe I have to look like on the computer and I'll have
So
it
the first,
easier time on the
well, you
app.
can put The Way of Kings is the first book.
The Way of King. Oh, okay, so that's what it is. It's not just, it's a series. Okay.
The
Way
entire
of
series is the
Kings.
Stormlight Archive, and then
Okay.
the others, each book has their own name.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see it. The Way of King. Should I have a free credit. Should I get that one? Is that a good one?
It's well worth it for a credit because the book is 45 and a half hours long. So if you compare like credit to time, yeah, it's probably one of the best deals you're gonna get.
Getting it for free anyways. It has almost 5-star rating. So
Yeah, and it's read by Michael Kramer and Kate Redding, who are just great at doing all the audiobooks they do.
Okay. All right. Because I want some new stuff to listen to when I have to like clean and do, you know, I like putting out audio books or
You get a lot of cleaning done in 46 hours.
and I disappeared for 3 days. I finished the entire book. Hi Mike, happy 4th of July.
Maids.
Maids, yeah.
Wait,
If
she's
that goes
sending X-ray girl to her. I have had enough.
Chris Nicholson, thank you for the 5. Happy 4th to my favorite YouTubers. Hope you're all having fun celebrating, even Disbrew. No hard feelings about the whole revolution thing. He's
It's
over it.
fine. It's fine.
He's totally
I
fine.
I preferred 1814 anyway. There was a tweet I saw that was like, congratulations in 3 months to when America is 243. I'm counting it from when England recognized them as a country.
And this goes in with since I just got a book. Thank you for another 5, Chris. P.S. Happy to hear that you're finally reading Sanderson. Though judging Sanderson by Skyward alone is like judging George Lucas by TX. I haven't watched that THX. Wow, I totally could not get that out.
I have no idea what that is.
Mistborn
met-
is the starting book, which most people recommend if you've never read anything.
I don't know if that one's on Audible because I feel like you and Kara both.
That's
told
definitely.
me.
I'm sure all of his books are on.
Maybe
Audible.
now it is. Like when Kara was on, it might not have been.
So Mistborn, the first 3 books are a trilogy of Mistborn, but you could just read the first book and still a self-contained story, just evolves. But yeah, that's what the movie's going to be about, and the movie's going to come out before the series. So
Okay.
you might want to start with that one instead.
Cheers. So, the Mistborn, is it 8 books in the Mistborn saga?
Okay, so
Or 7?
The Mistborn is essentially split into 2. There's a first trilogy, which is its own story. Then there's a time jump, and then there's the Wax and Wane series.
Okay.
So it's set in the same universe, but the Mistborn itself is just 3 books.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you, Chris. And Johnny, thanks for the Canadian 5. Wicked, happy 4th of July. Shoe, happy Canada Day. Disbrew, happy something day. Happy British Day.
Me Day.
Have a British
Happy
day?
Disbrew Day.
We're 4th of July is now Disbrew Day. That's what it's going to be. It's like
You actually have
Gonna
a
be
British
recognized.
day, though?
I'm
Like,
celebrating my independence.
Do
Oh,
you have
like,
a British
yeah,
Day there? Like,
independent.
Why would we have a British Day? Like,
I
do you
don't
know, like, what would even be particular about the day? Look, I think this is actually peak British. So
What?
it is.
he's got something for everything.
America is 250 years old, but this pub is nearly 1,500 years old.
Happy Pub Day.
We have been alcoholics for nearly 1,500 years. We've
You
been
know,
binge drinking
Not
since
to,
the beginning
not
of
to
time.
brag. Not to brag, but
No,
I think that's the most British thing that needs to be celebrated.
it's true.
How long
Agree.
we've been alcoholics.
Oh, there you go.
know,
Mike
we
named it.
drank outside. We don't need a pub to drink.
Yeah.
There was something that said the Brits have been, what was it? There were evidence that they would drink fermented stuff from pots and filter out like the husks with their teeth over 2,000 years ago. It's like as soon as we evolved, we just started fermenting things.
Mongoose, thanks for the 2 pounds. Happy
Thank
Disbrew
you,
Day,
Paco.
everyone.
I believe everyone else calls him Mongoose and I call him Psycho.
He probably likes that.
Yes.
It's different. It's special. Your own little nickname for him.
Everyone else
And
is like, no, I can't call him that, it'll be
animals,
offensive.
Okay, we've got a few, like a monkey here.
And yeah, Monkey, thanks for the 5. What do they call the 4th of July in nursing homes? Independence Day. Stop.
That was actually a good one.
That was a good one. Oh my gosh. And Tara, thank you for the 2. I did get the boxes of the games and dolls and VHSs. Thank you so much. I did get that. I did. And Albert, thank you for the Canadian 5. I just wanted to put it out there. As great as you all are, everything is better with Steph. By that I mean my nerdy home, of course. We don't. There's only one
Love
Steph.
Steph. Ah,
We love her, and there
I
is
love
only
her
one.
so much.
There's only one. Middle-aged boomer, thank you for being a member for 10 months. Hail, ladies and disc, Wicked Play Alien Dark Descent. I saw this earlier and I put it it's on.
I thought you
open up
had
on
played
Steam.
it.
No, I played Fireteam Elite like 3 times. But Dark Descent is
Oh, I
actually
thought
on
that was the same
Steam.
game. I don't even know that one
No,
then.
Dark Descent is actually on sale right now on Steam too for like
It's a quick play,
$10.
too. Like, I think
Yeah.
2-3 hours.
Yep, I'm gonna download it as soon as we get off the stream because I have it up on Steam so I don't
Yeah.
forget to cash it out.
Well,
But
quick play isn't always a quick play. Someone told me Exit 8 takes 45 minutes to play for first timers. I haven't.
Oh
finished it
no,
yet.
I do know this one. It's supposed to be a good game. This one, Dog Descent.
It's one of Mahler's favorite games ever, I believe.
Dark Descent.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a short game. I thought it was actually really difficult to do. But maybe that's just the review I watched.
Depends on the level. Yeah, I just play normal levels. I'm sure
Oh.
that affects it.
And Jesus, thank you for gifting a
Oh.
membership.
I got
Welcome to
the
the
wrong
Potato
one.
Squad.
Someone says it's actually very long. I'm mixing it up then. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Dark
Ah.
Descent is like a squad-based thing where it's
Oh, yeah, I got
it
it
looks
wrong
like
then.
like a real-time XCOM kind of thing. It looks like you've got to have everyone cover each other. And this guy was getting really annoyed because aliens would sneak up behind him before he could do anything. He's like, "Set up a turret, fast, work fast." I was like losing his mind.
Well, we're kind of off the topic of the superhero movies, but I saw.
Well, there is this one, unless
Wait.
you.
Oh, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Should I throw my hat in the ring? There's this too.
I've got this too. She accidentally
Well,
knocks
that-
everything over. Yeah, that's what I was.
I'm assuming because we were on about Supergirl before.
Yeah.
So a Mr. Terrific series.
Get ready for the best series of Disparu videos because this is his favorite character ever. He probably likes him even more than She-Hulk.
To be honest, he was
I just
better
gotta come
than
up with
most characters.
No, but that's my problem. That's why I don't like him. Because it was a Superman movie, but this is James Gunn. I'm sure I read somewhere that James Gunn, this was his favorite character. And so James Gunn gave everything that Superman should do to this guy. And then he's like, it's going to get its own series now.
Superman should get his own series first before Mr. Terrific. What the heck?
Yeah, this is just a guy who likes playing with his balls. I mean, he's not unique in any way, shape, or form. If that's a superhero, you've got millions of them.
I wonder if his hair is similar to that croissant from earlier.
Probably.
We're never gonna live that down. Thanks for sharing that, Disparu, because people are gonna bring that up for at least the next like 2 months.
Good. I think they
Good.
should. I think it's a
Suffer.
valuable topic for humanity.
Hey.
I am simultaneously hate the world a little bit more now I know edible glitter exists.
I
But like it a
am
little
willing.
bit more now.
I'm willing
Sorry.
to do that on screen.
So Disparu saying he'd rather edible hair than edible glitter. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm just saying it makes me I like the world a little bit more now I know something that disgusting exists. Whereas edible glitter means it's like peak consumerism, edible glitter. And it annoys me that it works. That's what gets me the most.
No, that
I'm
is
just
how
a
you get a
girl.
girl to buy things. Because
Make it
You know,
sparkly.
one thing that frustrates me is
Drew's like gay.
consumers of non-alcoholic beverages. You are buying $5 to $15 juices.
Yeah, what's up with the juice, you juice people?
Yeah,
She got
They're
so
not-
serious about that.
non-alcoholic cocktails. Ugh.
But you still get ID'd for it though. I bought I bought
juice?
I bought non-alcoholic beer for the first time in my entire life, like
Why
6
would you
months
do
ago or
that?
something. Because I wondered what it tastes like. It was just cider, basically, which I believe would just be apple juice if it's non-alcoholic.
It's just apple
Um,
juice. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, they ID'd me. I had to wait at the pissing self checkout for some woman to come along and scan it through. It's non-alcoholic. Mind you, this is the country where if you buy energy drinks, you also have to wait for someone to come and scan it through. You have to be 16.
Dang.
Yeah.
They don't want the
Um,
15-year-olds to get all hopped up on energy.
Oh, the caffeine.
So I wanted to share this with you guys because it is 4th of July, and in Philadelphia, they did a Ben Franklin look-alike contest. And guess who the winner was?
Disparu. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
You wish.
No, you're kidding me. You're freaking kidding me right now. Yeah, I mean,
I think
come
that's
on,
understandable.
She looks just like him. And look at the
It's
side
like
profile.
a photograph.
Like I can't tell the difference. Like this
Let's
is
be honest.
insane.
The only realistic part about this is she is probably bald. We've all seen the results of Weave.
No. No. Oh no.
Oh no. Ellie, what'd you do?
This is one of those cultural moments where you don't expect it to have that severe of an impact, but it does.
This gives me the same vibes as when you see those pageants where the fat girl wins or the trans wins.
Mm.
And you're like,
Where
they're
was
not
this?
even hot.
Where was this?
Beauty and grace. Dude, I remember that from Miss Congeniality. Okay?
She's
when I look at
beauty
that-
and she's Grace. She's Miss United States. That's X-ray.
I do not see beauty. Well, not this girl. This girl could probably win a pageant more than a fat girl or a trans girl. I'm okay with that. At least she looks like a woman. Okay? But it's absolute parody when Chonkers wins.
Do you want to know what I immediately thought when you showed me this? So I'm just going to share this for a second, then we go back to it.
Benjamina Franklin.
It is this quote.
Remember, disability is diversity. Let's include differently abled and get diversity right. Get diversity right. Disability is part of diversity.
Disability is part of diversity.
That's
if you don't,
that's real.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
wasn't
Look,
AI.
so no.
No.
This is why I know about it. Where is he?
What is this for?
Talking a lot about diversity in the community now.
And yet, can we?
This is the Rudderman Family Foundation. We're trying to expand diversity to include the disabled.
Okay, Mark Ruffalo. Okay, because he actually doesn't have a diversity point in him. He has to have a disability in order for him to be diverse.
Let's get it right.
Let's get it right. We must get it right. You know the worst thing? That's not even the worst thing I've got about Mark Ruffalo today.
I'm not surprised.
You know the crazy part is people with disabilities really try not to be a burden. So the fact that you're co-opting disability as a diversity, like that's pretty effed up.
Well, no, because okay, so the way the minority groups work is they're like, our problem is there isn't very many of us. So they then try to expand to try and include as many minority groups into one group so that they have the actual collective bargaining of that. And they assume that all the little people are so small that they're just going to go along with it. And so they're constantly trying to expand their sphere of influence. But of course, with Mark Ruffalo, he gets in on every single cause that's possible in Hollywood. So he is involved in all of these. If you ever want dirt on Mark Ruffalo, just Google the charity causes he's been in, and you will find things like him saying, actually, diversity is a disability.
That's
your Google search must be so interesting to
it is. There's no way. Like he's got so many tabs, and each tab has like its own tab, and it's like he just goes down a rabbit hole of like things that we couldn't even think of. You could bring up the most random thing, and he'd be like, "Hold on, like this."
No, to be fair, I didn't have this tab up. I just saw the Benjamin Franklin bald woman, and I was like, "This reminds me."
Do you know where that was?
It was Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
Born and raised on the
guys.
Okay, Will Smith.
I think I can
You're playing beach ball
now. I think I can be
yeah, probably
Nixon. Okay,
for sure.
For sure.
Dead ringer. No.
I can be Martin Luther King. That'd be the real based one.
Oh yeah, I can be Barack Obama at this rate.
I should have chosen that. I could have been in the White House.
I don't know. I think this rule looks more like Obama. To be fair.
Or
to
his
be
wife.
fair. Yeah. So speaking of like, I don't know if these people are married, husband and wife.
Are we talking about Travis Kelsey and I'm kidding.
Well,
Oh.
yeah, that was a. So a couple
Have we
signed-
proven that this isn't two women?
You know,
no.
looking at the husband
Is it
has a
Elliot
pretty weak
Page?
beard. That is a weak beard.
Yeah. He's already ginger. So, I mean, pick a struggle, right?
a struggle. So
You can't have a disability now, okay?
Chat, we would like to know your thoughts on this. A couple have signed a contract that allows the husband to play GTA 6 uninterrupted for up to 10 days after release. The wife cannot ask for help unless his missions are complete, walk in front of the TV, hug or kiss him while he's mid-game, or have a conversation.
Does it actually say that on the contract? I actually never pulled up.
Yeah,
the
you can
contract.
zoom in. You can read it. I did. Right click, view image.
I open just the image.
Oh, open a new tab.
Yeah. Now go to that tab and zoom in.
There we go. Okay. If I fail a mission, get wasted or busted, do not say. Oh, there's more. Do not say.
Yeah.
It's just a game. You can do it later. Haven't you been playing long enough? That makes it even worse.
Well, the thing is, it
Oh.
doesn't just say laugh manically to humiliate me every time I die. Like, there are ways around this.
Yeah. So yeah, it does say
Like-
walk in front of the TV. All hugs, kisses, conversation, errands, and can you help me with this really quick request? Must wait until I have completed my current mission or reached a safe house.
Oh, okay. So the weird thing with this is I've seen so many couples, and like obviously I've been in a relationship with people who game, and I
Yeah.
game. So it's a matter of communication. The fact that you, as a husband and wife, need to have a contract for 10 days. You know, I'll give you maybe a day to 2 days of complete silence away from, I get it. You're trying to get as much time with it. But 10 days seems like a little too much. I'm being
Probably not for
annoying.
GTA, though.
But
Well,
like,
I
also,
mean, it depends if there's like GTA Online is out, because if it isn't, you will have completed the single player way before that.
Within a day, right? If you like work really hard, 2 days.
this
you
guy
know,
definitely. I mean,
If
he's
you
gonna be
mean like
busy.
24 hours as a day, probably.
Yeah. And trust me, there are gamers who do that within a day.
Did you see
Oh, yeah,
this?
streamers. Yeah.
Did you see number 5? If you purchase the game for me or
I saw that.
contributed at least 40 towards the game, 40 pounds. So this is in the UK. You may eliminate one of the rules, like 2 to 4.
This is such
I don't-
clickbait rage.
I think it
dude.
is because look at this. It's agreed by girlfriend, wife. Agreed
It actually
by
doesn't say
boyfriend,
one
husband.
rule. It says one stipulation from rules 2 to 4. So I think
Okay.
it means like you can remove it's just a game, or you can say it, or you can hug me, is I think
That's
what they're saying,
true.
not the entire rule.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I skipped over that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm so supportive. Look at me. He's like, yeah, I'm a bad dude. Tell my girl
Yeah.
what to
You're
do.
a bad gamer. The fact that you have to make this contract. What kind of relationship needs a contract like this? Besides your, marriage certificate.
Firstly, yeah, him trying to pull the aren't I hard, isn't this amazing pose? It's a bad look. But
Yeah.
secondly, when you have to give her a lollipop to shut her up, that is a problem in itself, right?
I was
Like-
waiting for Disparu to say something. I was
Even this picture in its own right is like, just to take the picture and shut her up, I'm gonna have to give her a lollipop. I mean, she's already got like, what's it called?
I'm sorry, okay.
I forgot. Oh, what's it called? I'm going to say the wrong word, but like oral obsession. If you've already got to give her a lollipop in the first place.
Oh, okay. I know where
Fixation.
you're going with this.
Fixation.
Yeah.
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 And so you'd think if anyone is like, I need 10 minutes silence. Like there's all the methods you could use without a lollipop. Instead, no, I'm going to have to give her a legally binding agreement. And if you scroll, you probably can't scroll down in the comments, so I have to give you the exact link.
Yeah, I'm probably not.
I
Yeah.
would not
I'm
scroll.
not going to do that
Yeah.
on this post.
So,
you put it in the group chat if it's the one I'm thinking of. You did put one in the group chat that you said you agreed with. That one.
okay, so firstly, there is this one, which I also agree with. Just as a matter of fact, he can barely write his own name. He definitely needs to spend more time gaming.
Yeah.
Like this is my handwriting is bad. I'm not saying mine is better, but come on, if you're gonna be signing a contract and showing it off,
Well,
you've
I
got
don't
bigger
think it's
issues.
a bad idea to show your signature online like this.
Probably.
Well, he's given his entire name, yeah. But also, I agree with this guy. What do you see? the gayest thing on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your
The-
relationship sucks this much for contract, and like, I don't know.
Yeah,
You need
that's the
10
main
days of
problem.
silence.
The main problem with this relationship contract is the surprise that he's in one in the first place. It's like any guy. Can you imagine a guy coming in? Actually, darling, I've drawn up this legal paperwork for me to play
Yeah,
a video
yeah. I
game."
love games so much that I'm surprised it's not like hugs and kisses, so she can bone you. Is that fine?
It wasn't in the list. Anything
wasn't
that's
on the
not
list.
disallowed is allowed, presumably.
Yeah.
Could you
She's
imagine
not
if that
to watch
was?
TV, but if I'm naked.
Yeah, that wasn't on the list. Oh my gosh.
She can distract him in other ways. Although in that case, he wins either way, so it's probably why it's not on the list.
True. But
True.
I don't
As
know.
long as she doesn't walk in front of the TV, she'd have to get him to turn around somehow. Maybe like jump scare him. The thing is that this is why I couldn't be that kind of missus, because I'd be coming up with loopholes that were in the
He
like
said that-
outside the contract. So
that is
they'd
a
be like,
sentence
"Oh,
I never thought I would hear Disprue say. I can't
No,
be
but
that
they're
kind
like-
of missus.
yeah," because you'd be like, "Well, actually, putting up a complex system of mirrors in front of you, that's not against the rules." And you just like slide in reflective mirrors to just show him the kitchen. Like, he just wants to, you know, like,
It's true.
what is technically allowed, but it would piss him
It's
off.
not stated in the contract. I mean, I
Exactly.
would just run around naked. Okay.
As long as you're not in front of the TV, you could be like on top of the TV. You could be standing behind the TV doing star jumps.
Ooh, you could. Okay, never mind. It might be too far. You can have
Go on.
solo.
I was
play.
already. You can stand behind the
You
TV
can
doing
have
naked
solo
star
play
jumps, and you're like, "I'm going
beside
to."
the TV.
Like you could invite your best friend, your best girlfriend around. I'd be like, "We're just going upstairs for a few minutes. I'm sure you won't mind, darling."
Yeah, you go on the phone and you're like, "I'm so hot, me so horny. He plays gay, so gay."
She probably wouldn't be doing the racist accent at the time, unless he was into that kind of thing.
And another name has been added to the list.
Mrs.
Mrs. Rue. Oh my goodness. What do we have here? I'll let you guys I'm heading out soon, and I'll let them catch up on supers. I think you should let Disprue do it because he did such a fantastic job. But before I go, I want to talk about this with you guys. This is crazy. I know Disprue has thoughts on this because he's always had thoughts on Millie Bobby Brown.
He's always had thoughts.
He's
Oh
always got
my
thoughts.
God.
This was
thing is so
wild.
stupid.
Actually, I
It's
put this in the chat. I hadn't seen this, and
This made
Well-
complete sense to me.
yeah.
Well, I could see her saying that, but it's like it just hurts.
Well-
knowing that's like
We should probably say what she said first.
Yeah, so Millie Bobby Brown says she believes she was a soldier in a past life during her interview with Buzz Capital. And I was definitely a man, hopefully a closeted gay man.
Yeah, and I'm like, well,
What?
it's not as if you've had kids in this life. Why would you in any of the others?
I mean,
what does it matter to your life in like your previous life? Like being gay is not, it's not the same as it is today.
no.
No, but that's probably why. She's probably thinking of herself as like a valiant rebel fighting against the man.
Exactly.
Struggle.
And the truth is, they weren't oppressed back then either. It's never really been true because America didn't exist. And so you're thinking of it as like some kind of ancient American cultural institution when actually you would have been, I'm assuming that she's American. So she would have actually been something like English back in the day where it was like, yeah, gay people just did it in their own houses. They just didn't take it into the street and brag about it all the time. But it's not like they were being strung up in the Tower of London. You weren't actually oppressed. You
Yeah,
just
she
had to
wanted-
keep it to yourself.
She wanted to be gay so she could still like guys. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, I think that she can't imagine being anyone else but herself. So she's like, well, I like men, so therefore everyone else must like men.
Hey,
Yeah.
I would totally be a gay guy if I was a man, I suppose.
'Cause you like guys. Yeah, totally.
I like guys.
And that's why Disprue's a lesbian. He likes girls. So big old
Mhm.
lesbo.
Always would. The thing about this is as well, she couldn't just be Have you ever noticed anyone that has past lives? They're never like a toilet cleaner. They're never like, I was the guy that went out into World War II and just dug trenches for people to crap in. They're never that. They were never, I was the sewer worker that just had to go down and I basically drowned in it. They're always, no, I'm a soldier. Why? Well, why you're a soldier? Because it's a masculine job that actually had some kind of reward back in ancient times.
Yes,
It's like,
U.S.
she
Marshal
wasn't just any man. She was a brave man.
She was so stunning and brave.
I mean, she really strikes me in this picture that she would make an absolutely brave man. That,
I mean,
like, if there was a disaster, she would be the woman by the side of the disaster screaming.
Oh, absolutely. She is a typical girl who has the privilege to say things like this, and she doesn't even realize how easy and lucky she is.
You know what's sad too? Like what I think of like the first season of Stranger Things. I loved it. The kids were so adorable. I thought she was adorable. Now look at her. I mean, but it's not surprising. Hollywood got their hands on her. That's what happens to these kids nowadays. You look at kids back like from the 80s and 90s that were if their parents were heavily involved in like protecting them during shooting, they're all messed up now. And then now these kids are just woke as heck because they grew up in Hollywood.
Well, I mean,
Hollywood.
If it makes her feel any better, with the amount of makeup she's got on in that picture, she looks like a drag queen.
Yeah.
I won't, Jose. Don't worry. I'm getting ready to go. I just wanted to.
And
I'm having fun with my friends.
and
I know I gotta go.
She's like, I've drank too much to care.
she's not a bad-looking girl, but she doesn't help
No.
herself in a lot of ways.
When she has light makeup on, just Drew's right. When she has just like maybe a little sun kiss look going, because I follow her on Instagram and I've seen like when she just like is doing real stuff, no like red carpet stuff. She's just like in her backyard or something, promoting something. She looks fine. She looks like a young woman, but when she packs on the makeup, she looks
like
older.
RuPaul.
So old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, this is Instagram face. This is what all the filters have done to people. They think it makes you look good. It doesn't. This makes you look awful.
It's
like,
the Kardashians started it.
It seems weird. Like, this is how much of a messed up civilization we live in. The men telling women that they don't need to lie so much and put on so much makeup are now the misogynists. It's like, I'll cake my face and paint if I want to. And everyone's like, no, you looked beautiful before. Stop it.
Yeah. Well, I think on that note, are you guys good? Do you need me for anything? I'm gonna go watch the fireworks. It's almost dark out, so it's like perfect timing.
I'm sorry if your channel gets taken down.
It will not,
Yes.
please.
This is how
something like I'm scared.
this is how everyone will feel if they're like going with Wicked to the next destination. It's like 1 seatbelt, 2
I'm not
seatbelts.
I'm not driving anywhere. It's like neighborhood stuff. So
Well, obviously, I mean, you've been
Yeah.
drinking, but still,
yes, yeah. If it's
this
not,
is
I would
just in
Uber.
general.
Actually, knows how I am. If I have like even a sip of wine, I'm not driving.
That's me. I'm about to take my test.
Oh, that's how I have to. Oh, yeah, you're right, Drew. I do have to put the seat all the way up. Well, not that.
He's got a few. Like, this is the most well-protected man in the history of the world.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's
Is this
me and X-ray
official
combined.
Asian cars? Like you're afraid of the Asian women?
Oh.
Well, that's the glorious thing about it. Is he racist or misogynist or both?
He's a misogynist. Okay, that didn't work.
It did though. Kind of.
He's
He's a ramisigog or whatever. Yeah.
Well, unsupersized Saucy will only end when X-ray needs to pee. It's true. Don't forget to get X-ray drunk while I'm gone, chat. I'm counting on you.
Drink.
She should, and then when she has to pee, Disparoo will be free. But thank you guys for holding down.
You're a poet and you didn't even know it.
Listen, I got it. Free the roo. Listen, just let me know. I will come and do what I gotta do. But all right, guys, I'm gonna go watch the fireworks. Thanks for holding everything down.
Thank you.
I'll see you guys next week.
Should we get to some soups in the meantime?
Probably a good idea. All right, bye.
Do you want to read them or
Work out how
shall
to
I
get
read
back to
them? Bye.
Bye.
Dealer's choice. Happy to do with it.
All right. Well, you'll have to tell me because I did go to the bathroom at one point. Did we read this one yet?
All the ones which are starred of she left.
Okay.
So they're all fine.
Callum, thank you for the 5 British pounds. I'm not even that bothered about
It's proper money.
Spider-Man as a whole.
Are you sure you haven't been drinking?
No, I had a little bit. Spider-Man has at least 1 hole. No, 3, because he has his web shooters. Anyways,
Yeah, and he has ears and a mouth and
so, like,
nostrils.
ears, his nose, his mouth, his butt, his spider shooters, his pee-pee hole. 9. A lot of holes.
No, that is a
I
lot.
was not expecting that.
Can you imagine what? Zendaya. Like Zendaya has a lot.
And she's a small girl too.
She could probably. Oh God. I was about to say she could
Yeah.
probably fit up them.
Call
Like,
me
no.
daddy. Is it a good thing that Wicked left? I'm actually
It took
afraid-
seconds. This was like 10 seconds and 15 seconds.
We
We're
have
already describing Zendaya climbing into her boyfriend. And then like a little, it's like the boys, like she gets shrunken down.
Yeah.
Like, honey, I shrunk your wife. And he's like, well, careful. There are
No,
advantages.
that's the misogyny I like. But even the trailer is talking me into the cinema. Trailers do matter. Can't wait to see it. Now, the trailer does look good. I'm still worried.
I wasn't keen on any of the trailers until the last one. And the last one, because I hate this. We're going to show you 2-second clips of just random unrelated scenes. I can't stand it. Whereas the last one started to show you the arc. It started to explain more about the journey and sort of the values of going into it and things. And so when he went to something along the lines of, my powers are backfiring. It's dangerous. I have to sort this out now. That's such a contrast to Supergirl, where she's like, I don't care if you die. And he's like, no, I'm hurting innocent people. I have to find some way of fixing this. It's like classic heroism.
You feel obligation to do something because you have a higher power in order to enact change.
Yeah, like heroism is about duty. So obviously you shouldn't hurt people, and he has like the power to not do. He's the one doing it. He feels guilty for doing it. Like, I didn't really like the whole, I'm going to change everyone's minds just because they found out I'm Spider-Man, and I don't like the fact they've found out I'm Spider-Man. I thought that was awful. So the previous trailers focusing around that and about how, okay, you've done the sacrifice, move on, but you're still hanging around her life and stuff. I didn't find that cute or romantic. I'm just like, it was a terrible storyline. Move past it. Just forget it.
Sacrificing those relationships to give them a better life, one that doesn't endanger their lives, I think is, should be admirable, but they keep bringing her back and him back.
Yeah. I know it's because they're married in real life. They like doing films together. And so because they're both popular names,
Big names.
movies obviously like getting them together. But I hope in the movie they don't get back as a couple. Because then he hasn't sacrificed anything. So it ruins even the storyline I didn't like. If you're going to have him do a sacrificial thing, it has to stay. You can't reverse it.
Yeah. It just sets a bad precedent of heroism.
Well, it also says more about Spider-Man that he's willing to sacrifice something.
For his own selfish gain.
Yeah, he has to live with it.
Yeah. Albert, not a retro for 5 Canadian. I have my ideas for a DC cinematic universe. Actual initials gets me denied. Really? It's in the post area of my channel.
Are you trying to say DC cinematic universe? Because otherwise you've put the D cinematic universe. The S would be not required.
I don't know. Might need more information on that. Triple killer for 5 says Peacemaker equals orgy. Superman equals harem. Supergirl equals traffic ring. I'm worried for Teen Titans. That's gonna be a bukkake.
Yeah, I don't think that James Gunn likes heroism at all. He said that Peacemaker was what he wanted to make, so he likes the disgusting, degenerate thing. He's basically George R.R. Martin, but making superhero movies. And that just doesn't work. Because they're heroes, they are better than you, not inferior to you. But I think because heroes make him feel inferior because he's not like that, he can't make them. It doesn't feel right to him because he can't imagine being selfless.
Well, he doesn't know, so he writes what he knows.
The thing I didn't like about the Superman movie, though, is the very idea that Superman would need to be told to have a harem. Like, this is an alien with superpowers who's muscular.
can do anything he wants, and yet
Yeah.
he chooses
And, like-
this girl.
Well, and looks like Corin Sweat and could travel the world instantaneously. He would have a different woman in every port.
Like a
Like, he would
basketball
not-
player.
He would not need to be told to have a harem. They would be lighting up around the block for him. Like, you don't need that instruction. He would be repopulating his species.
Yeah, and I still find it weird because it's like I thought being a hero for those types of people, a guy having multiple women makes you evil.
No, I mean, for most of all of history, the most powerful men have had harems. Kings have had
No.
multiple women.
And I
The-
agree, but like
Monogamy
if a
evolved
woman
because
has a harem, it'd be fine.
no, women have never had harems because that
No,
destroys
no.
society.
But I'm just saying with like the woke ideology, guys who have multiple girls automatically are evil to them.
Oh, yeah, from a woke feminist perspective, yes, it's evil.
Yes.
Oh, I see what you mean. So it would be weird to suggest it to him or even his parents because you would be calling them evil. That's a good
Yes.
point. I'd never even thought about it from that perspective.
And so it's like you want him to be an Andrew Tate of the world of sorts. Like, it's so strange. But anyways,
Yeah, they would have done it the other way around. You would have thought they would have at least put in something. Mind you, I think it was suggested that his parents were evil because the idea was that he then rejected his parents' messaging and went with the local farmer messaging. So at the end of the movie, he went over to their pictures. He switched.
so I can see
So-
that, like the fighting of which parents you want to be the predominant.
I think their version of it would have been found family, which is the current woke thing of, oh yeah, well your actual parents, obviously you had a bad dad, but you can choose a better family.
I really hate that idea of found family. So friends.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
But
cool.
that's what they want because they want to separate, because the problem with family from their perspective is families aren't equal, because some people have better families, some people have richer families, and so the only way you can actually get equality is if you strip parents from their families, give them to the state, and the state raises them, then everyone's raised in the same level of degeneracy. So that's why they want to destroy the family unit.
worst thing in the world. Cool Gamer member for 19th month. Best channel on YouTube. Yes, and we're
Wicked
totally
isn't
playing
here,
tonight.
so it's gonna get deleted. It's the only option. I'm jealous that Wicked has the best channel on YouTube. I'm gonna James Gunn it and just destroy everything that I'm not.
Oh, I thought you meant you're gonna watch the girl of your dreams bang another dude.
I mean that would be weird.
That's the gun method. Albert Not a Retro for 5 Canadian. By the way, all three of you have been tagged in the aforementioned post.
Okay, I'll look it up. Cheers.
Okay. Pull it up when you can, because I have no idea what he's talking about.
It was his ideas.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Monkey Hate Clean for 5. What does a Russian hooker say after 10 minutes of play? Putin.
No, I don't like that.
I read that ahead. That's why I was starting to
Yeah,
down.
Yeah, put in, yeah.
Thank you, Monkey. That actually was funny. Doom Guy for
I don't think I've been.
free. Doll
I
hair.
haven't been tagged in anything.
Is it under the tweet, maybe?
Well, I checked my Twitter notifications. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay. I'll check after this. Actually, you read this. I'll check my Twitter.
Okay. Doom Guy 8324, because there were previously another 8,323 people. For $50. Thank you, dude. If you're still waiting for them to bring back your precious games, movies, and comics, you're an idiot. I'm an idiot regardless of those things, to be fair. You'll own nothing and like it. You'll own nothing and be happy, was the 2030 speech. This is just a symptom of the bigger issue. You can't own property without paying land tax. Same here. That's an American thing. The land tax is an American issue. We don't have land tax. But you are right in everything else. You can just look at like RAM. now they're going, maybe you won't be able to own personal computers in the future. Maybe you just need to rent your computer power from a third-party service who will then see literally everything you do on that computer. Not just stuff that you do online, which goes across anyway, that you could encrypt, but at the native level, it will be on someone else's hardware. So yes, we are moving towards that. Everything wants a subscription. Adobe's awful.
I hate
it's literally
Adobe subscriptions so much.
Yeah. Because before you used to be able to buy Photoshop. Now you have to subscribe to Photoshop, and then it's probably just a few dollars more to buy everything else on the same subscription. So they upsell you.
It's the same thing with Microsoft now. Word and Excel is a subscription, which is so stupid. Because guess what? Now I'm going to use Google Sheets, Google Docs. You lost me as a customer.
There is Word online, but I believe it's a cut-down version. The only reason I subscribe to the Adobe thing is because I like their AI generation. Just because I'll have a picture that doesn't fill the full YouTube thumbnail length, and I'm just like, just extend this background. And it's so easy. It's worth the cost alone. But otherwise, yeah, Adobe is the one subscription I despise paying, because I would just prefer to buy Photoshop and like rent the AI credits.
Yeah. I'll pay even like $1,500 overpaying the subscription.
I don't know about that, because that would probably be like 100 years or something.
Okay, well, how much is it? It's like $100 for the whole thing. So, $1,000. It's a year's worth, and you get all of it. Canadian, mind you. That's probably.
You're making me double second guess what on earth I pay Adobe. Also, if anyone uses Adobe, by the way, go to cancel it and it will offer you a deal. just do that. It gives you like half off for nothing. I hate those people.
But it works. It works. I'm skipping to this one just because I don't know what you're talking about, Albert, and maybe I wasn't here for the super chat.
You didn't read my chat just before Cool Gamers. So these are the chats that I know about. You said it's on your. It's probably easy to go to your YouTube channel. I'm assuming your YouTube channel is your same name. You said your YouTube.
His posts about the something. I'll leave that up.
I can't find. This is the issue with putting it on the YouTube channel. If it is the same name, YouTube only shows in search certain channels. And so the search is awful, which is why if you just DM me, it's open on Twitter. I'll find whatever you mean. That's the easiest thing. Just DM me.
Okay. And then Albert Not a Retro with another 5 says Steph could hold the One Ring and not be corrupted. Are we sure about that?
It must be a hobbit. Hairy feet, you see.
Like,
that's what they all got.
Turtle, she'd leave the ring for the turtle.
Well, that would be where where Frodo just collapses because he sees the ghost in the water. That would just be a turtle, and it just like collapses face first into the water.
I need turtle. Captain Wrecked for 10 Canadian. Happy 4th. Went to see the plunder. I mean, artifacts up here in Halifax, Canada, when we captured USS Chesapeake in 1813. LOL. Jokes aside, the Aubrey Maturin audiobooks are 100% worth it. Cheers, all.
I'm not sure what the audiobooks are referring to.
Aubrey Maturin. I've never heard of that.
Oh, is it a series? It's on Audible. Jack Aubrey and Stephen Maturin, Master and Commander and Other Adventure Series.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It looks like pirates and ships, people.
Ooh, that is definitely up Wicked's alley with the pirates, though.
Oh, there's 19 books in the series.
She should definitely check that out then. Definitely check it out. Albert Not a Retro with $5. Edible glitter. I'm wondering what Shu did to pay for her education. No judgments, of course. I waxed vaginas and balls and legs.
Nothing else. Like just those parts. If they wanted like their chest waxed, he's like, no.
No.
I only do minge.
Everything. From here down, I waxed to fund myself through education. Okay. It was a choice, and it was better than
Strange men going for that attire.
Uh,
Like, it's like
you
who looks at it and thinks,
okay.
I want
the
some
men-
hot wax put on that.
The men that I waxed were kind of
Gay.
like middle. No, they were middle-aged, straight, post-divorcees.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they didn't. Okay, so they didn't know that these were people which
think
are probably
it's
married for a
nothing
long
to do.
time. They were out of the game and they read a magazine and it's like, oh, everyone's metrosexual now. Those are the people. Those are people like, oh, I should actually start eating soy. That's what GQ magazine tells me.
Yeah, I honestly, they were very nice people, except this one guy. He ended up being a murderer. Yeah. I think I've talked
He
about
just couldn't stand the pain.
No, this guy
Like, you just drove him
murdered
over the edge.
he murdered his wife. He was this like prestigious brain surgeon.
Did she make him wax his balls? I mean, that's probably
No.
understandable.
He waxed them because he did these ultra marathons, like 100 kilometers running and swimming and biking and stuff.
Oh, he
like
was clearly a maniac. What was she thinking? Anyone that look, there are multiple things you can choose for the Olympics: the 100-meter sprint or the 100-mile ultra marathon. They're
don't understand.
psychopaths.
Like, he definitely had a certain personality that made me uneasy, but I would never have thought that he murdered or would have murdered someone at that point, because he did it after said wax. Not right after, but like I just remember looking like I recognize
The wax was the
this man.
final straw.
But I felt really bad because when he got arrested, there were so many people waiting to get surgery because he's actually a good surgeon, from what I understand, and they couldn't get their surgery because of that. That's the opposite of heroism.
I just like when you went, I couldn't tell he was a murderer. It's like, how awful would you have to be for someone to go, no, he's definitely a murderer, that one.
Like, you get this vibe, right? Like, you're just like, you're definitely a little weird, but I wouldn't have thought that weird. Yeah, I guess he is very much like Supergirl.
Yes, he threw up all over himself while he was getting his balls waxed.
No, that didn't happen.
He
No,
was hungover.
Supergirl got her revenge, and he got his revenge. Just saying.
He got caught though, so he's an idiot.
Well, that's true.
That's genuinely something taught in psychological research, that a lot of psychological research done on criminality is done in prisons. And at the bottom of every study is, you always have to remember that the people in prisons are the stupid criminals, and as such, we may just be researching the side effects of thick criminals rather than the intelligent ones.
Yep. But yeah, that's how I paid for my education. Roundabout story.
You kind of wonder, like, what makes you that you sat there one day and went, you know what? I think I'm gonna wax balls.
Well, so I started off. My mom, she did massage therapy, and part of like one of the places she worked at was a like esthetician. So I'm like, Mom, can we figure out a way that I can learn how to do this? This looks like such a cool job. And so I went to school for that during high school at night, so that I could get the education for it, and then started working at 17 in aesthetics. So I worked at a spa, and then found that waxing was more lucrative because you could do a $50 pedicure in an hour or a $50 wax in 15 minutes.
I was a speed waxer, fastest waxer in the West.
Yes. We always joked, if you're late, it's going to be a 2-strip where you just go. Never did that. That's a joke.
You just cut holes in for the important bits.
Yeah, but yeah, that's how I got into waxing, because it made the most money and that made the most sense for me at the time, because that was never going to be my career. All right. Make your passion into your profession. You'll never work a day. X-ray probably. Waxing's not my passion. It just was a means to an end.
No, but the joke is that it was.
Did I miss it completely?
No, it's like you just really loved waxing balls was the thing.
Oh, well, I like torture, maybe. We have basements. Flying Dutchman for $1.99. Where's Vera? Smartest anti-Marxists in gaming. Maybe she's gaming.
She's probably gaming, yeah. She'll say she plays everything.
Yep. Middle-aged boomer for 5 British pounds. My first super chat. I'm going to use it to try to get you to watch on stream The Adventures of Mary Sue. You will love it. Ex-Disney employee who was to male?
I don't know. The issue with watching anything on stream is it takes forever and you have copyright issues.
And this is not our channel, so I don't want to get into too much trouble.
I also searched it on YouTube, but I can't find it either.
Okay. Well, there we go. Sorry. Thank you, middle-aged boomer. Flying Dutchman for $1.99. Very is smarter than Disbrew, but still love Disbrew. There you go.
Comes to gaming. So unfortunately, I did Google it and I found fan fiction. But you said watch, so I don't think this is even the one.
You might have to be a bit more clear with like the actual title then. Albert, not a retro for 10 Canadian. If I were a gamer, my girlfriend didn't respect my hobby, I'd tell her to hit the bricks. Dudes today need to stop drinking soy and start standing up to Wiz. What? Who's Wiz?
I don't know what the Wiz. I'm assuming it just means her. But yeah, like if you can't play a game in peace, like you have more fundamental issues. So okay, let's just say that it's a perfect solution. He solved it for 10 days of the year. What's he going to do for the rest of his life? You're going to constantly sign contracts? What it never included was what did she charge him to sign that contract? Because there was definitely a negotiation that happened during that thing. What did he have to do?
My thing about that would be, okay, so I'm going to put it logical girl logic, okay? Guy games for 5-6 hours. He eats food, doesn't clean up after himself, et cetera, that sort of stuff. The chores pile up and you're just sitting there gaming. So I can see where frustrations come on a girl about that if you don't clean up after yourself. I'm trying to put girl logic on this, okay? I personally don't mind as long as it gets cleaned up by the end of the day. But if it doesn't get cleaned up by the end of the day, that's where I have problems.
Okay, so there's actually research on that where the problem is different people have different levels of like where it annoys them. So every single person, just because of conservation of energy, wants to be lazy. But you'll get annoyed by something to a point where it makes you get up off your ass and solve the problem. The issue is, whoever is the person least annoyed, like, that hits that level first, does all of the work, all of the cleaning. Because the other person will always wait, like, an extra day, and then after 2 days, maybe it would annoy them enough to do it. And so the other person thinks that, it's always... But if they just waited, they would probably clean it up. So you set your thing at a day, where after a day and a half, he might clean it up, you never know. I think it's way more complicated than that. It comes down to, like, is he pulling his weight in general? Because it might just be that he doesn't clean up ever. But he also brings in the majority of the money. Maybe he takes the bins out. Maybe he walks the dogs. And so I think you have to come up with a fair split between you. But that doesn't mean 50-50 everything. It means you do this, I do this, you do this, I do this.
And for me, I've always been someone who's like, okay, you do what things that you're good at first. And I will do the things that I'm good at first. And so... the one thing for me always has been, I don't like cleaning the shower. So if you get to clean the shower and that takes a heck ton off my plate, I will do a lot more for that one thing to be taken off my plate. So I don't know. That is just what I hear from girls who have serious gamer boyfriends. And so I can understand where they're coming from, but I think that the contract is still stupid.
Yes. If you were going to... so there's actually a couple that do a channel on YouTube called Based Camp. Now, they have an overall relationship contract, which is just like, these are the agreements of things that would piss us off to the point where we would split up if we broke them. Like, what is your major red lines? Just so we know that we've sorted that out in advance, because you're always going to have problems where you have to work things out that's just something is so horrific to you, you can't do it. It's just not allowed.
Yeah.
And so, like, they kind of settled all of that out in advance, which things like, do you want kids? Well, that could be a real problem if you date someone for 5 years and then you find out whether they do
You're
or
like,
don't
I
want
want
them.
kids, but you don't want kids. How do you compromise on that? You can't.
Well, no, but that is a conversation that you should have when you first start. So, like, their relationship contract forced all of those issues out in the beginning of just like their unbreakable things. So that kind of thing makes sense. But just this all in separate things. Like, he's going to game. He's a gamer. And so you would have thought this would have already solved itself out. The fact that they had to sign it means they had issues. This is an ongoing problem. And they still haven't come out with a way of solving it. And they still haven't. Even after this, for the next game, it's going to be problems again.
Yeah.
So this is more like a more fundamental problem they need to deal with rather than just GTA 6.
Yeah. And that's sad. And to Albert's point, this also is a thing that women do. I said do. But there have been so many videos of girls who are like, if a guy is a gamer, that's like, bleh, 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 bleh. And so
then good luck being lonely for the rest of your life. Gaming is
Right.
such a massive hobby at this point.
is what
If you-
I've always said this. I'd rather a guy game than be someone who does insane drugs, drinks a heavy ton at the bar every weekend. You know, gaming is a cheaper hobby in the end than going to the bar.
Gaming is probably a cheaper hobby than nearly everything. Just because the amount of value for money you get from a game purchase, like 30 or 40 hours, and he's right there. You know where he is. It's not like he's going out fraternizing with other women. He's on your sofa. So-
Absolutely. So, yes, Albert, she doesn't respect gaming, and that is one of the things that you love doing. Sorry.
But it is interesting. You immediately brought up cleaning, but that in that guy's contract, cleaning wasn't in it at all. Cleaning was it was more just don't try and stop me doing something I love was essentially his contract.
Yeah, and I feel like, okay, maybe I'm trying to see from like conversations with my girlfriends that are with gamers, and a lot of it ends up stemming to cleaning, which I could see her nagging and being like, honey, blah, 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 you need to do this. Don't bother me. Don't stand in front of the TV, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of that ends up stemming to chores, which is why she's bothering him.
I think it's just an easier case of going, I mean, assuming you got the room, this is your space. Therefore, what your space is like is your deal. And you can keep the rest of your house clean if you want, but that's his space. And so he will clean it on his thing. As long as he doesn't make the rest of the house like that, then that's probably the easiest compromise. Because he will clean it at some point. It just won't be on your kind of
I absolutely
style.
agree. Being as someone who's lived with men in their lives, I've avoided the man cave for reasons.
Yes. Well, I think that's the easiest compromise with everything. If it's not a you doing the activity thing, if it is just cleaning, then just be like, well, his desk is his desk.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's so many ways to deal with it better than the contract. And I mean, we've mentioned
Yes.
quite a few.
This
so
is why I asked if he was a woman.
he gotta look like a woman with a beard, to be honest.
It was a weird ginger beard.
Yeah, it didn't look right because it only grew like down here. Now
It was like in a strip across the jawbone.
and there was none up here. You can
No.
a little bit. I
And
did.
this has happened. I've seen this happen before. There was two people that were like that, and they came in and did something. And it was like, I just took her name in a marriage, and it was like, this is disgusting. And it's like, it's two women arguing who takes each other's name. It was always going to be tough to decide.
Oh my gosh. Albert, not a retro for 5 Canadian. Under the 1533 Buggery Act, they legally schmilled homosexuals in the UK. What? Is this a real thing, Disbrew?
Do you know what buggery is?
Is that butt sex?
The thing is, I'm not. It might be called that. I genuinely don't know if it was called that. It might be. Oh my god, it is. It auto-filled.
So if you do it to a woman, do you die too? Just out of curiosity. Oh, it's
I doubt it. Look, the thing with any of these laws is, firstly, how do they know? Who's going to tell them, right?
well,
I don't know about
in
legally
world,
killed,
they do.
though. Punishing them with property forfeiture. Oh, and death by hanging. Was okay. Is that just was it in the law, or did they actually? Yes, many people were hanged. Okay, fair enough.
How many? How many?
I don't. There probably is actually records of it. Sir Walter Hungerford was the first person to be executed under the Act. Commoners convicted of the Act were typically hanged. Hundreds of men were executed over the centuries. In the period between 1806 and 1861, 56 men were executed. So about like one a year.
Now, is lesbianism okay?
Well, for the same reason that forced envelopment isn't a crime, I would say yes.
Okay.
Because the people don't seem to think like that. So
Girls were they too timid to do things like that? Who knows?
I'm confused. This AI might be just the last two men hanged in England were James Pratt and John Smith, who were executed in Newgate prison in 1835. But previously, it goes up to 1806 and 1861, says 56 men. Also, this is from like an advocacy group it's pulling from.
That's insane.
But at least some people were. We'll just say that.
Okay. Well, buggery was a real thing that people got killed for back in the day. Gary Thomas, member for 3 months, says Brown is British and buggery was a crime in the UK, punished by death by hanging until the 1830s. All that aside, who cares? We live in 2026. Now, there's something what I hear a lot from like the extreme activists is like people die every day when due to homophobia, transphobia, and stuff like that. And I feel like with where the news is, that we would hear about stuff like that.
Yeah, they don't die. It was that simple. In modern day, no. And you also don't care. Those same people don't care because if they do, they wouldn't be complaining about your country. They would be complaining about like some Far Eastern one. Like if you want to take on the world's problems, then you deal with the world. So no, most of it, look, all of this stuff is about finding a pressure point to try and turn you into an evil person, much like them. That's all this stuff is. It is just, oh, well, I know you're a good person. I know you're a moral person. So I'm going to try and find an issue that you'll care about in order to make you do what I want. It's like, yeah, but I don't care about you because you're irrelevant and you don't matter. So now what? I'm going to live by my morality and I'm not going to be manipulated by you various different facts, figures, and historical actions, which I wasn't around for. I'm going to be proud of my history and my ancestors, and if you have a problem with it, you can piss off somewhere else. The solution to all of these things is I don't care what you think about me because you're evil, and I know what it's. I don't care what you despise because I've seen what makes you cheer. Is the entire attitude for all of it. It is evil people looking for pressure points in their moral superiors. So I don't really care about any of them.
And they always. So I watched a recent episode on Caleb Hammer, like that show a lot because it makes me feel better about my finances.
He is the Jerry Springer of our time.
Yes. And the last girl that was on there was an extreme activist. And one of the clips that have come out was like, he was like, oh, so your parents are extremists. And he's like, give me an example of that. And she's like, well, they didn't ask questions or like want to know more about stuff like that. So, and he's like, so they disowned you? And she's like, no, they didn't want to know more. So I stopped talking to them, essentially paraphrasing. And so
no, I think I've seen this. I think Asmongold showed her. She's a lunatic.
She's an absolute lunatic. And as soon as he makes a point, she'll bring up another point that doesn't have to do anything with it to prove her activism. And it's just like, no, let's stay on point. She got asked questions on like specifics and why she feels this way, and she couldn't answer them.
Yeah, because she's going down the NPC decision tree. It is no different than when you're in Morrowind and you just select the next option to see what the other version of the chat is.
Absolutely.
It is, well, this didn't work. I tried to manipulate you. It didn't work. So I'm going to say the next topic of conversation and see if that works on you. They are testing you for weakness, and then they will continue if you actually fall for it. That's all it is.
Yeah. And my favorite
they're not
thing
really
is,
they're not even really people. They don't actually have belief systems as such. They just have things given to them that they know work.
they have talking points without facts and information. And so when Caleb brings something up that rebukes her point, she just stands there like,
Yeah. It was like, well, I attacked you. It wasn't very effective. I'll use a different element to see if that is more effective.
Yeah.
It's essentially the way it works.
Actually, one of my favorite clips was, so the tax system in the US.
Oh yeah, and he was like, we have the most progressive tax system of all time.
The top 10% pay over 60% of the taxes in the States.
Yeah.
Okay. And the bottom 50% don't even pay 1% of the taxes. Income tax, by the way. And she's like, well, they shouldn't pay as much. She's like, they shouldn't pay 1%? What? And she doesn't even pay her taxes. That was my favorite part. She didn't pay her taxes the last 2 years. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, my opinion would be no one should pay taxes. Like, what do you mean? Yeah, it keeps the military to protect your nation, but apart from that, there's no need for it. But we live in like literally one of the most socialist times. And like, no, you should pay more. How much? Like, at what point? Tell me the number where you would be satisfied. I don't have one because it's always more. I want more. I want more. It is evil people driven by envy and greed that just want other people's stuff. And so they will always be more envious. Yeah.
It's actually absolutely insane. And then like, at least with Canada, the amount of money we've given to like the Ukraine astounds me. It's like, you've given more money to the Ukraine than to your own people. So it bothers me so much.
In that specifically, they've just lost basically generations of men. Like there are worse things than losing war. There are. And your entire population not being able to survive is one of them. And so now they're like, well, we're just going to import people. Well, then you've wiped out all of Ukraine. What do you mean? There's not going to be more Ukrainians. Like, if they're not Ukrainian men to breed with the Ukrainian women, Ukraine doesn't exist anymore. So there's definitely worse things than winning and losing war. But as like an entire point, when it comes to like, well, why do you deserve anything? Like, Asmongold actually made a good point when he said you're oppressed more by the bottom 2% of people than the top. It's like, yeah, because they're the ones that are in your life, ruining your life, making your life worse as you go around in your daily life. At no point has Elon Musk done something that makes my life worse. But the people I meet on a daily basis, they definitely do. And this is one of the reasons why people are like, yeah, well, the people used to get hanged. It's like, good. Because basically, they wouldn't be in the gene pool anymore. The reason why England was a high trust society was because it hanged their criminals, and so they couldn't breed. And so we basically bred the perfect population that was just didn't steal. You could have honesty boxes all over the place. Japan is the same way.
I miss Japan.
The idea of like violence happening is kind of just, you didn't think about it. What do you mean someone would steal your car? This isn't in the genetic temperament of the people. And so that takes a long time. It takes thousands. It's
pruning.
In this case, over 1,000 years.
It's like your lawn.
It is the constant removal of bad genes from the gene pool. So
absolutely.
I'm not against corporal punishment at all.
If only putting people in
that
jail
might be the longest answer to a member message of all time.
I know, but like these super chats, these messages are actually like getting my head like moving. People were saying earlier that like we're taking longer to read super chats than Beardo, but these are good talking points, okay?
Consider them topic starters.
Jim Watari for 5 says Wicked has left the building tag. Yes. I know. She doesn't know what she did.
The moment she started and you were like, so when we think we do this, and she's kind of like grinning to us, I'm like, are you already drunk? Like, yes. Like Wicked, what I found today is Wicked is a giggly drunk. That's the type that Wicked is. Yes.
She is definitely like super girly in that sense.
Yes. Well, I remember I haven't been there, but there was like a Meet Up Pals, an event that Wicked went to, and all I was watching, I think it was Beardo was doing like the tour of the place, and someone handed a drink to who was it? It was Jay. And I think he handed it to Wicked, and Wicked was just in the corner like a goblin, just like slowly.
This was MegaCon, when we did the Geeks and Gamers meetup at that hotel. Because I remember she was hiding behind Jay getting.
Yeah, it was so weird. Like he turned around and she's just like in this corner. There's a wall there and a wall there. And she's like,
she's just so small. I remember meeting her there and I didn't recognize her because I've only seen her with glasses. So when she was there without her glasses, it's like the Clark Kent type of effect. And I'm like, she's like,
she had hypno glasses.
And I'm like, hi, how's it going? And she could tell I didn't recognize her. Oopsie. But look where we've come. Like, I actually did check our episodes, and we've been doing this for over 2 years now, which is wild.
Wow. Yeah. It doesn't feel like that. It was literally just because at some point Wicked went, do you two want to do a stream? Yeah. And then somehow it never stopped.
Yeah. We're like, we'll test this out for a month, and if it's great, great. If it's not, we tried it. We have good chemistry.
Well, that was the thing. I remember being like, no, it's your 2 stream. I'll turn up sometimes. And it was, I think, the way I pitched it. Every time. And I left myself a kind of an out of like, if it was awful, I just wouldn't turn up. And then it's kept coming back.
Thank God. It worked out. Albert Not a Retro for 5 Canadian. Oh, my Spider-Man song parody Spider Sim is also up in the post. I had to use DC because using the proper initials gets the chat declined. Did he DM you?
See, the thing is, when you say DC...
Apparently you can't use the word D and then C. Like 2 letters, apparently.
Yeah, but it was just funny because on the first one you said D and then Cinematic Universe.
No, he said DC Cinematic Universe.
So... no one has DM'd me, so I don't know. I'm looking at my message request, hidden priority. And I can't find anything. I don't think there's any in my like tags either. And I've searched for your channel under Albert Nada Retro in the post, and I can't find the channel, let alone the post area.
Okay. Boo.
So I've really tried, but I can't find it. If you DM me on Twitter, or in the chat, I can watch the chat for the bit. I've got the chat up now if you tag me.
Jason for 5 says, I'm shocked Jeremy hasn't ball washed for Trump. And started up an emergency Cobra cast because the celebration has been canceled by storms.
Oh, has it? So the weather got to them. I always thought America had a lot of like good weather in general.
It depends on where you are. Oh my gosh. Today I was driving on the highway home, and there's definitely areas where the highway has like water pooled up. I saw a car hydroplane 2 lanes to the right of it. I was so lucky not to get hit. And that's why you have to be careful in the rain. I guess that happens in 4th of July. Maybe. Was there a lot of rain in the DC area? I could see it.
I'm assuming so, just because if it was cancelled. But there was a big stage and everything, and so can you not set up like pavilion? Does it really matter if they get rained on? How bad can the storm be? Like, is this if there's a tornado coming through? But if people are just going to get wet, just put a pissing coat on. Maybe this is the English in me coming out. It's like, yeah, we just go out in the rain anyway. What do you mean?
We have a lot of rain.
Well, yeah, but like, just because something's raining doesn't mean that you cancel the event. You just wear a coat.
In soccer, they they delay the games. Actually, they delay the game by a day sometimes, depending on how bad it rains.
Yeah, but that's because they need the grass to be a certain way because the ball rolls a certain way and things. Same with tennis. They can't play tennis in damp grass because it bounces differently and stuff, although sometimes they end up doing it.
Interesting. I had no idea. Daniel Moore Business for €5.99. Just eat the bugs, Disbrew. Stop being an individual. Give up physical media. Rejoin the EU. We all float down here.
Well, give up physical media. I'm a PC gamer, so we haven't had physical media in God knows how long. I do have physical discs and box collections, but I also rip them, so I have digital versions of them anyway, just because it's more convenient. I am a bit surprised by the backlash in sort of console gaming when it comes to not having physical media. But then I realized it's because you can sell them, right? So I can't sell my Steam games. So it does make sense that if you're used to selling them in shops and stuff, or getting cheaper games, it's done that way. I think the issue with console games is PC people trust Steam, and Steam does like sales. So it doesn't matter. You don't need like competitors and stuff because Steam just does the sales anyway. But everyone knows that Sony are arseholes. Microsoft are arseholes. So nobody wants them to be the only person selling you games because it's not going to drop at all. You're never going to have 90% sales that they do on PC and stuff. So I get the console version. It's just not something that I personally have experience with. As for Eat the Bugs, that's never going to work because of the same thing as Supergirl. No one's ever going to go for something which is inherently repulsive and sort of like biologically ingrained in people as that. And they're going to try, right? The easiest way of doing it would be continue to tax and make things more expensive so people naturally go towards cheaper things. But would you eat like cockroaches or a carrot? Like you're given a choice. That's why I think there are like red lines of what people can do unless you catch people when they're young, and that's probably what would have to happen. But even now, there's actually do I have it up here? There's various different things. Oh yeah, this. So this is the most recent thing that's happening in the UK. The UK government, bastion of truth integrity, has decided you're receiving too much misinformation and disinformation, and so they are going to put BBC, ITV, and Channel 4 sources, trustworthy public media providers, onto YouTube. They're basically going to take the YouTube algorithm and force them to show trusted UK media, basically propaganda sources, directly there. And YouTube has come out. And
I saw that post from them. It's actually like, I'm actually glad they're on the side of not wanting this.
Well, the reason why they're on the side of not wanting this is because I forget her name, Mama Susan, as has been called, already tried this, where in the algorithm she tried to push things that she wanted to be shown rather than what people were interested in. Now this is trying the same thing. Now what she learned is no one clicked it anyway. So yeah, you could show me BBC, Channel 4, ITV. I'm not going to click it because it's not what I want. And so it doesn't actually matter if there's a whole row of shorts or Channel 4. I'm just going to ignore it and I'm going to scroll past it. It's going to be invisible. The issue is
Jimmy Kimmel stuff that always came up.
Exactly. The issue is there might be somebody else in that spot that I would have clicked, that I would have been interested in. And so it's less about whether I'm going to get indoctrinated by Channel 4 and more the fact that you are killing the channels that would be further down the page that I might now have watched because YouTube doesn't know exactly what you're interested in, it just guesses. And that's kind of what they warn about with this, that it's going to affect your channel. It's going to be reducing your visibility. You may get downranked, threat to your reach and channel growth, reduce user exposure to diverse content, undermining creator-audience bond because it emphasizes trust, which is implying that you can't be trusted. And so it is obviously a negative thing. It's just the very idea that the government thinks that works shows how out of touch they are.
They're so out of touch, honestly.
I demand a higher form and a higher quality of propaganda. Like, I am fed up with trying to be propagandized by people that are my inferiors. If you think any of this works on me, you're an idiot. If you, like, at least employ me, right? At least so that I could tell you what works in the first place. This is one of the things of I am fed up of being ruled and attempted to be manipulated by people who aren't even on my level.
And, like Google, or not Google, well, Google as well. Instagram, Twitter, and all that algorithms can pin me to a T, my age group, my interests, if I have a family. But for some reason, governments don't know how to use that to their advantage.
No, well, part of it is because what they want is like an unrealistic worldview. So it's very easy for me to convince you that gravity exists because it's true. And so I can make a meme about why gravity exists because it reforms your life view. But if I need to make you jump through 50 different logical loopholes and various different language games to guide you to a result, it's very difficult to put in a meme because it's not true. And that's the problem with that's why they can't meme. Pictures. A picture is 1,000 words, but it can only tell you things that you already reaffirm as true. That's why, so the English, the way they talk, communicate their humor is very high context because we've been around each other for thousands of years. And so we all expect everyone to be able to agree. It's the best example I have is, I'm assuming you know what I mean when I refer to this, but there was a guy that was talking about Az and Gary, and he's like, I want to slap them around the face. I'm gonna slap them because they don't like Supergirl. And I commented, his glasses are never gonna fall off his glasses are never gonna fall off his face. Now I could have just said he has a massive nose, which would be the American version of the comedy. But on mine, I'm assuming that everyone already recognizes this guy's a massive nose, and that's basically the summary of the difference between American and English humor. English humor relies on everyone already being on the same page and agreeing on everything. America, because you have people from all over the world, has to spell it out a bit more and make sure everyone knows this is what I mean.
Knee slap humor, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? It's just sad that your government is so out of touch with you guys.
Well, no, but that is the problem with their memes. They have to spell out everything and guide you along the tunnel to make you get to the wrong conclusion. Whereas if you say the truth, well, now I can put it in a picture because you already agree with me. You already know this is true from your life experience.
Do you remember the original memes? Like the newspaper when they had the comic little section with like some words and what was that called, chat? It was basically like a meme, but it was in newspapers, and
there used to be little comic sections, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, I just don't remember the name of that, but I remember learning it in school. It's like, oh my gosh, this is gonna bother me. But anyways, those were so great because you had to kind of know to understand. Memes are a lot looser in terms of like trying to find the background and whatnot, but you really had to know like, oh, this guy is like the president or the governor or whatever to understand understand the complexities.
Memes in general tend to require high context. That's why the left can't meme and why the right can.
Yeah,
they are referring to things which are just true and objectively true.
Yeah, I'm looking in the chat. They're kind of like political cartoons, but they're not called that. And maybe this is like a Canadian term that I learned when I was younger.
It's the same reason that you could make a meme about why Lupita Nyong'o doesn't belong in the Odyssey. You couldn't make a meme about why she does. Because the reason why you would want to convince she does now involves why you have to teach you about representation and the world, and have to teach you about the backstory of American reality, and that how because they oppressed Africans at some point, she now has a hierarchical social position. And by the time you can't do it in a picture. But I can show you that she's not Greek. That's the kind of the issue. And that's the issue with all British propaganda at the moment. It is literally, I'm trying to convince you of something that isn't true. It's like, well, or you could just admit the truth. It'd be a lot easier.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe. Okay. People are saying it's caricatures, but that's not the word for it either.
I don't know what you mean. I think I know the thing that you mean. Like newspapers used to have just a little comic, and it was literally like a 1-segment comic that would take the piss out of politicians.
Maybe it's
because we used to have something similar, but I don't know what name it used to have.
The name of it.
In the meantime, while you're trying to think about that, we can show you this Polymarket tweet. England players will be allowed to use little blue pills to help them deal with Mexico's altitude. With Estadio Azteca, I don't know Mexican, being at 7,350 feet above sea level. Blue pills can reduce fatigue. I think many people have worked that one out. Related to physical exertion.
Oh my
At
god.
high altitude, like when they're on top of the world. This just goes to show this really is the chemical and the drug which can solve everything. It was originally invented for heart attacks, from what I know. It was meant as like a blood thinner kind of thing. And then it was reported as a side effect that it had other side effects. And they were like, we can sell that.
But if you, okay, guys, if you are of the age to want or need Viagra, or not even the age of the mechanical,
If she's just ugly.
you know, use Cialis. Don't use Viagra. Cialis is
I didn't
better.
even know there was another version, to be honest.
No, it's not the same as Viagra, but it uses a different chemical path that's actually, from what I've heard in the research.
I trust your waxing experience.
I have not given too many people boners during.
Probably the pain. The pain probably stops.
Oh my god, it is really funny. Like there was one guy. As soon as the first wax strip went off, it's like it's hard to ignore. He looks at me.
Well,
I
yeah,
look
but-
at him, we all know what's happening.
No, but sure, because I don't do massages and stuff ever since I had like nerve issues with my arms. Anyone even messing around like my shoulder area, I'm like, no. I do not trust you to not put me into years of agony in the future. So never would go near massages at all. But it is you're kind of like, okay, in massages you can understand it, but there must be times the person doing it must have experienced it so much that it's not surprising. They'd just be like, look, it's a biological function. You're not in control of it. It just happens or not,
And
right?
that is my understanding. So that's also why, like, when I wax, I personally do not manipulate the organ. I take their hand and get them to move.
So are you saying some people do?
I don't know, because I have not. I've
Because
not.
I assume no one would, but the way you said it implied that there was another method.
I don't know how everyone waxes men, but like
I figured you would have been trained to do a certain method, is the way that I assumed it would have been done, right? Or were you just sent in there and be like, no, just wax his balls and be fine?
So I've always, so when I did the training, it was of the balls area.
So you were trained to do it, right? You were just sent in. I'll be like, look, this is Steve. She's a first timer. Good luck. Good luck, Steve.
It's like I've had conversation with girls where they're like, it's so much easier when they're harder, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, I don't need to know this. And there's one girl that I loved working with. She'd be like, it was like a game. She'd be like, what do you think?
Is he a grower or a shower? Is what you're saying.
Like, stop. It's just like bigger or smaller. I don't know.
So he'd walk out the door and he'd be like, guess.
I knew a lot of penis sizes because of that. But that's why I'm not afraid of it, because also like when you work in medical too, there is a lot of things you see more than
Well, yeah, because it's a different thing. I imagine there's a lot more anxiety involved in like hospital scenarios.
Yeah.
Whereas compared to waxing, they're probably thinking, I hope this doesn't happen. I don't know, like, because it would be more embarrassing than just like, I'm so nervous, right? So there, it's just like, please don't happen because but I imagine from their perspective, it can happen like a lot. And so it's probably more normal than anything else. But I always thought it'd be just like, I'm just going to leave the room for 5 minutes and then I'll be back. I just thought it'd be like that.
No, I have a set time to do this wax. I'm going to do it regardless of your boingness. And
Well,
and I will
I'm a
admit-
professional, damn it.
I will admit that woman was right. If they're, waving the red.
There's
flag.
less loose skin we all working with.
It is true. It is true. I'm not saying I,
Yes, you are.
reach for it, but it makes my job easier.
And that's how you get through college.
That's how I got through college. I didn't do it the liberal woman way, okay?
No, the liberal woman way would be strippers.
I got paid to do the service, and they didn't even finish. You're welcome.
I don't think I can tell that story.
But like not in the way they probably want. Anyway, okay.
I probably shouldn't tell that story.
I finished the wax, okay? Don't tell us. All right.
No, that wasn't even I was about a story from me. Well, it's not even for me.
Do I want?
Well, it's not regarding me.
Okay.
It's regarding other people, which is why I don't think I can tell the story because it's not my story.
Okay. Fair. All the stories I told were technically my story. Just the other person consented it. Captain Wrecked for 5 Canadian Disbrew. Do you recall the BBC Hornblower films with Loan Grufford? I don't know if I said that right. Both based on IRL Sir Thomas Cochrane. Wicked should 1000% read/watch both.
I've never seen the series, but I do recognize the main character.
Oh.
Yeah, the Gruffold. What was he in? I know him from somewhere. But no, I've never seen the series. I just suddenly recognize the actor.
Okay.
Try to pull up his IMDb.
Okay. Because I've not heard of that before. I just assumed it's a Britishism.
Well, I've heard of Thomas Cochrane as well, but it's not something I know off the top of my head of what he did, but I've heard the name. Oh, so he's kind of interesting. He's like one of these guys which has been in a lot of stuff, but he's basically a background actor. So you recognize his face, but he's never really led anything. Like, he's been in an absolute... Fantastic Four, 2005, Reed Richards. He was... So that would be where I know him from. He was the main character as Reed Richards in Fantastic Four.
Interesting. Okay.
If I show you him, you'll probably know him.
Maybe.
Have you never seen Fantastic Four? That'll probably be why.
My computer's freezing. I can't get to the screen. Okay. He looks very familiar. Okay.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was like, where do I know you from? When the moment I saw him, and it is Reed Richards.
Interesting. Okay. Maybe I should look at that too.
I've heard Thomas Cochrane, but I don't know off the top of my head without searching. I've never seen the series. BBC series though used to be amazing. They genuinely good. And then somewhere between like 2010 and 2020, they just died. Same as most things.
It all is leadership. Not that DC was in a great place, but it was in a better place before Gunn.
Yeah, I think it just comes. I think it's literally just comes down to values. Do you believe in heroism or not?
Yep. Albert Nato for 1 or 2 Canadian whiz means to urinate. I thought you meant real life fake wizard.
No, I know that whiz means to urinate. I just didn't know in the context of what you were saying before.
Yeah. Daniel Moore business for €249. Yeah, but he's buying the food and the house. Well, if the man is buying all the food in the house, it is definitely a different story. I guess for me, it's hard to imagine a very traditional household when I know a lot of, at least anecdotally, a lot of houses aren't traditional.
Okay, so in the current time, it's incredibly rare. Ever since women entered the workforce, you have to be so exceptional as a man to make a wage that can keep a woman on those things. Just because literally, if you double the workforce, you halve the wages. That's just how it works. And so now, yes, getting a man that can pay for everything, unless you live out in the countryside somewhere and he works remotely,
very rare.
Nigh on impossible. But even back in the day, women always worked in some sense, like way, shape, or form. It's just that even when you go back to sort of everyone was on their own farm and they fed themselves, women would work on the farm. So the jobs women have tended to do tended to be part-time and local. So if you go back to even my grandparents, my grandma was a part-time cleaner. So my granddad would make most of the money, but she would go out and she'd earn like top up kind of money. And they would be where the kids were at school. So that's about as close as you're going to get to like, traditional. But even traditionally, you go back to like Victorian times, the start of the Industrial Revolution, the women worked. Poor women have always worked. It was the rich aristocrats that didn't. And so the tradcon wife has basically been rich people. It's a rich people lop, essentially.
Yeah.
But the issue you have is it used to be women would work part-time and local, so they'd all be around their house. And it seems to be that if women are around the house, they breed. If they go off and work 9 to 5 like a man does, if they try and imitate a man, your birth rate dies. Yeah. And so, look, if you want humanity to survive, you're going to have to sort that out. And it isn't, you can give women money, you can give women anything, but it seems to be the more time women spend around the house, the more babies they have. So when COVID happened, baby boom, it's just reality.
Yeah. So honestly, Daniel, I would say if my man bought all the food in the house, oh, hell yeah, I'm doing all the cleaning and I will do everything sexually that he wants. That's fine. That's great. But, that's not happening these days, at least.
That's all it takes for X-Ray. You buy her some food.
Food, a house, all that. Let me have kids. I guess I could scream every now and then. And yeah, I got it. I literally got it.
Look, she will clean up your cups from GTA 6 as long as you pay for the stuff.
Yeah, because guess what? If they work 8 hours plus commute time a day and then some, and all I have to do is make sure the house is clean. Easy.
Oh yeah. The greatest lie society has ever managed to picture people is the fact that, yeah, those men, they've been going to work and earning loads of money. Don't you want to do that? No. The guys didn't want to go to work. They just did it because they had to. Actually managing to convince women that you really want to go to work and be independent is kind of wild.
Yeah. Like, the thing is, a house, hey, mind you, we got to keep it within limits. No mansion crap, okay? I'm not going to clean a mansion, okay? And 2 people...
Well, mansions are actually easy because let's say there's 2 people. 2 people are going to use the same amount of rooms, whether in a mansion of 1,000 rooms or 5. Like, there's only so much mess you can make. And so I don't think mansions get that much dirtier than, like, a terraced house.
I cannot imagine dusting a mansion. That's really the thing that I think that would kill.
Well, you know what dust is? It's mainly just human skin.
Yeah,
and so if you're not in the rooms, they don't get dirty.
I suppose, but getting every nook and cranny the way I like it with, like, floorboards and, like, walls and crap like that. I like to clean, okay? There is a level of clean that I like, and yes, and don't clean as much as women, and I have a higher level of cleaning. I get it. But like I said, if I literally did not have to worry about work, oh, hell yeah.
Well, this is the thing. It's like men have spent the last, 120 years automating as much of the housework as physically possible. So you no longer need to get the clothes and scrub them on a wooden board in order to get them clean and stuff. It's actually way easier with the hoovers and everything else.
Yeah, I do think cleaning is definitely a lot easier than back in the day. But yeah, to clean so I live in a 3-bedroom house. Townhouse.
I just saw wear a maid outfit. That was the only chat that
I mean, I could do that too. And that takes like 4 or 5 hours to do an intense clean start to finish. So not bad.
Yeah, but how often do you have to do an intense clean? You could probably do, like, if there's 2 people in a house, if you spend an hour a day, how much mess can you really make?
It really does. Like, you can't. Now, if you want to add on gardening and you have to have the responsibilities of keeping the outside clean, then that might add a couple hours a day. But like, it's not.
I think most people would consider those to be men's jobs. Like the trash, gardening, that kind of stuff tends to be the man rather than.
I used to be married to a cripple, so those were my jobs too.
Well, yeah, but I mean, in general, like if you wanted to take like gender roles, most people would consider like taking the trash out and gardening to be the man's role automatically.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
So if we do lawn care, but I still garden because I actually do quite enjoy that. Easy. That's like,
Yeah, I mean, mowing the lawn would generally, because it's heavy machinery, right? So
Yeah.
more lean the man's kind of
yeah.
role.
And I really hate weeding so much. I hate taking the weeds out. It's probably one
I
of
mean,
the worst things.
you could also set up your garden so it doesn't take anything, basically.
Yes.
How much effort your garden takes is a you choice.
It's definitely a you problem, but like I was obsessed with the lawn in the sense that I wanted to choke out all the weeds by having an immaculate lawn. I know. Okay.
It was more the choice of words, to be fair, with that one.
Oh, well, as someone who waxes people.
Look, I like
Lawn
pain,
maintenance is
okay?
my
It's just the
thing.
way it works.
I love how Wicked leaves and we've spent an hour.
I know, we're trying to do super chats. I think have the super chats increased since we've started doing super chats?
I think so. Okay, we're gonna have to get through this a little faster. Albert not a retro for 5. If he is the way he is, she needs to accept that or move on, not try to change him or pester him while
Based.
he's involved in his hobby.
Yeah,
his
tell her
hobby.
to piss off.
I think
I'm
there
playing
are
GTA
compromises.
6, bitch.
There
Like,
are
that was the
definitely
thing.
compromises you can do as someone who loves gaming. I'd say I don't think 10 days is a lot.
Look, the game wouldn't require that, right? It's just insane.
Yeah.
Now, this was where he needed to, when the online thing comes out, he needed a 2 separated sections. So I have 5 days to do the single player. And then when the online comes out, I have 5 days to play it again. Not 10,
10 consecutive days. So
this is
I
just
would say
poor argumentation.
48 hours for the story. That's smart. And then whenever online comes out, that's when you have your rest of the 8 days. I think is the maximum amount of time that you can enjoy the game.
Yeah, I'll turn around and say, don't bother me when I'm gaming, woman.
Yeah. Or maybe come up with a compromise. Text me unless it's urgent. That way he can attend to it when he's done the game.
Well, that's the main issue. They need a long-term solution, not a short-term one for one game. It's
Yeah.
like, look, if there's some kind of problem there, which there clearly is, the fact that you had to do this, stop acting like a hard man because she signed a contract once. She owns you. That's what
Yeah.
that lollipop said. She owns you.
Yeah. There definitely needs some sort of communication in order to satisfy her and satisfy him in a very beneficial way.
Yes. Basically, he needed someone with lower standards.
Or that. Killjoy for 10. Showers are easy. You just need a bucket. Why do you need a gallon of bleach for your shower?
I thought you were going to say, why do you need a bucket? I was like...
No, why do you need bleach? 1-to-1 mixed with water, a roll of paper towels. Soak the towels and spread them out overnight. In the morning, scoop out the paper towels. Are you talking about...
I don't even know what this refers to.
Are we murdering someone?
We said showers, but bleach wouldn't... bleach doesn't get rid of the flesh anyway. If you're going for the Breaking Bad kind of trope, you would use something else.
I get rid of blood evidence, though.
True.
That's
but now,
why
now you're attacking someone in a shower specifically. Because, if I died here, and then the police came in and they found bleach all over the floor, well, they know I've been murdered.
Someone said it's because I don't like cleaning showers. It's not about the cleanliness of the shower. I just don't like reaching around.
Yeah, because you'd think that showers would innately be one of the cleanest places anyway, because they're
No.
constantly showered in water.
Scum, and because I like taking baths, it can pile up.
Well, I'm on about
You're
a
just
shower, not a bath.
Soaking in your own filth, realistically,
Yeah.
with a bath.
That's why I was on
so-
about a shower, not a bath.
But the bath is where I shower. Shower is where I bathe. Anyways,
Well, if you're taking a bath, you're not taking a shower. There's different things.
you do both. I fill up my
I
bath.
mean, yeah, you could sit in a bath up to there and then turn the shower head on as well. I
I've done that
guess.
before.
But that would just be a weird, freaky thing to do and should be banned by. I'm fine with hanging people that do that. I'm like, no, we need to draw a line.
Mystery wants me hanged. I get it now.
Yes, if you're in a bath or surrounded by water and you decide to turn on the shower as well, that's it.
I am.
You've gone too far.
A homosexual during the. I forgot.
A super homo. That's what we need.
Burberry? No. A
Did you say Burberry? This is a type of fabric.
What was it called again?
I don't know. You said Burberry. That's the only thing I have to go up.
It's something
A chav? A bee? I don't know. Burberry is a type of fabric.
No, what's it
brand.
called when it's men doing it up the
Buggery.
Buggery.
I actually love that you've confused Burberry and buggery because those are basically the same thing anyway. The buggery people are probably wearing Burberry, to be fair. Like that's just how it happens.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Killjoy. Albert, not a retro for 5. Forced envelopment is a crime. What that means.
Okay, so yes, it's a crime, but it is not considered the R word. Yes, it's not a fruit under UK law. I don't know about other countries and in the UK. It is in Canada. Okay, so that surprises me. I didn't know it was anywhere in the world. I just knew UK it wasn't.
Interesting. I've never heard of this law.
It is impossible for a woman to do it to a man in the UK. It's not against the law. I think it should be, obviously. As like I think it was last week where I showed the German hairdresser and she like fed him pills, but that's why they assume because you have to respond as a man, it's physically impossible.
Hey, a girl can still owe when she's getting,
That's not anything to do with the conversation. In this, it would be the woman doing it to the guy.
No, I'm just saying, like, if we're going the other way around, a girl can still. Does that mean that it's not grape? Then it's kind of like the same idea, right? No, the act is still the act.
Oh yeah, well that's just a biological reflex, basically. Exactly. You have no control of it.
A biological reflex doesn't mean that it's okay.
Yes, but as you've seen through various different things of, especially teachers, the amount of female teachers which are doing it to students, or female police prison wardens, often getting with the criminals. I don't know why they're in male prisons, but it's like sending them to a buffet, basically. But all of that is treated differently. It was like, well, of course the men want it. That's the way it's treated. Whether it's right or wrong. There is some kind of different societal impression there.
When you're the only girls that are around, just dudes all day, you become the prize.
Oh, well, I don't think anyone's... Okay, so prison wardens. No one's saying that the prisoners... It's like, obviously you can see why they would. It is the prison wardens that would... the issue. Like, the prison wardens shouldn't be doing it. Like, no one's surprised that the prisoners are doing it. It's like they haven't seen a woman in God knows how many years. But the prison wardens... People were like, oh my God, I can't believe women are... It's like, well, of course they're doing this. Federal criminals in America reproduce at a higher rate than non-federal criminals. So you simply don't allow it. This is one of the issues with freedom. There's some things you don't allow because human nature goes against what you would like to happen. So yes, obviously women shouldn't be in male prisons. Duh.
I agree on that. As someone who's a female, I would not want to be in a male prison. Daniel Moore business for €5.99. I'm Irish. The last 3 gays who were killed were by Muslims. 2 were beheaded and 1 was bludgeoned. And is this in the UK, Euro?
He's Irish.
What? Oh.
Now, I don't know whether he's Northern or Southern Ireland, but I don't think it really matters for the topic of conversation. Yes.
Regardless, they're still small places. So whether it's north or south, it doesn't matter, like in that sense of like impact.
But... No, I think it's the thing. It's like, yeah, it would be compared to the English law. It's like, yes, the English law happened at some point. I'm not the kind of person that would ever project current morality back in time. I think that's a stupid thing to do in the first place. But obviously the thing that matters the most isn't what your ancestors did. It's the time that you're living through. You matter more than your ancestors because you're alive right now. And
You
therefore
are doing what's impacting people, not your ancestors.
What,
That's why I hate
well,
reparations.
yeah, but obviously what's happening to you is more important than what happened to your ancestors, because that's already been and gone. And therefore we should make decisions and policy based on what's happening now, not what's happening 1,000 years ago or whatever, because that's irrelevant and doesn't matter. Time changes, technology changes. We're in a different situation now than before, and so we should make the best things for the current people at the time.
Yeah, and that's why I like the idea of individualism, because sure, there are things we can say, race, each culture, blah, 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 blah. But what you do really should matter. And, we see, I'm trying to think, like, people who break out of that mold. There are really dumb Asians out there. There are really freaking dumb Asians out there.
Yeah, but
Okay?
they're also in the minority, right? So the idea that Asians are good at maths is because there was a general trend that Asians were good at maths. And so stereotypes exist because they were true. They were true so often that people noticed them. And so I'm against the idea of individuality because I think that statistically people do follow trends.
Statistically, yes,
So
but I will
if
still
you
judge you individualistically.
Well, that's a
Yeah,
different thing,
well-
right? So what we're talking about now is a sense of scale. So the way that all online advertising works is it has a click-through rate, which is amount per 1,000 people. And they can predict that click-through rate after like 3,000, 5,000 clicks. They know the next 100,000 people are also going to click at that same rate because in aggregate, people act the same. Now, I see no problem with judging people by group things as long as you're open to go, but you're the exception. But you should still understand that you're going to be judged by the group judgment, but it's now your duty to prove that you're different. So, like, if I go to Spain, most English people that go to Spain are off their face pissheads that just go there for the alcohol, and I can either reinforce that or go against it. But it's not surprising if I go to Spain that they're going to think I'm going to be a drunk pisshead. That's what most people do that go there. So
it's
I see it from both perspectives.
In Japan, they're going to end up thinking you're going to be loud, obnoxious, etc., etc. So
Because they are.
Usually, yeah. So
I remember when the Americans came to England and they walked out of the underground and they went, make way, make way, coming through. I'm like, this would never happen.
But yes, I guess we are.
I have a fan. There's a fan.
It's just a guy blowing Disbrew at the.
Yes. I've employed 5 different people with leaves to waft me.
I can't believe I snorted.
Yeah, like a Greek painting.
Yes. Anyways, moving on, because I think we are in agreement on this. We are definitely in agreement on this, though.
Yeah, like there's nothing wrong with judging people by your group as long as you're open to the exceptions. But exceptions that prove the rule also don't mean that the majority of the time the stereotype isn't correct. That's why the stereotype exists.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Okay, you know what? I think it's having this extra monitor that's causing me to slow down. Because this has never happened before.
She's never been this slow before.
Moving. Okay. Albert, not a retro. I pressed it, I swear. For 5 Canadian. Also, unlike in the USA, if a wife hits her husband, he won't get arrested for a domestic in Canada. Wait, what?
So this is, there's a standard thing in the UK, which I think came around because a woman was friends with the Queen, which was in any domestic dispute, the man is assumed to be the guilty party, even if he calls the police. So maybe that's different in different countries.
Okay.
I think the USA does back the same rule that the UK has because of the same reason. But it all comes from some woman that wanted her children. And so she just went to the Queen and got laws written for her.
Okay. Oh, I think my battery is almost out on my mouse. It's not my computer. My mouse is working over here. Anyways, I'm Mr. Me for 5. Haven't seen you guys in a while. Glad I'm back. Cheers.
Not to have.
And has become a YouTube member as well. Thank you so much. Albert, not a retro for 10 Canadian. It would have been cheaper and more effective if NATO had just sent 1,000 troops to Ukraine than the money we've sent. Nothing is worse than Russian subjugation. Read some history. And that's the thing is, if we send money there, I don't know if I've ever heard at, right now of accountability on how the money is spent that is sent to them. And I know many countries sent a lot of money to Ukraine. Where did it go?
I have a way more basic opinion of just, if you can't defend yourself, oops. There are some countries that matter more than others, and quite frankly, I don't know why everyone else is fighting so hard over a piece of land that no one cared about until 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I really don't care about either side in this scenario. It's nothing to do with me. It's way over that way. I don't know why. Suddenly it's the end of the world. I just don't care. Like, places have been at war across the world all the time.
For
it means nothing to me.
Centuries. And I mean, like, how long has, like, for example, Iraq been in war, but people don't care about Iraq as much?
Oh, yeah, but in this case, one country would have lost instantaneously to the other one. All you are doing is making more people die. I don't think that's a good thing in general.
Gary Thomas for 5 says, I like Caleb Hammer's show, but I get the feeling that he is a 90s liberal and he doesn't
100%.
understand that modern politics is trying to move past that. And I will say this, I think this is a lot of centrists today, is definitely 90s liberal, and trying to find where you land in today's politics is very difficult, because guess what? I might like one thing from one side, but not the other thing, blah, 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 and bounce back and forth. But that's how politics usually is. There's no, like, I truly don't believe that there is a person that believes in one side of all politics. That to me would be wild, but it just depends on where you land in terms of your life and whatnot.
So I think I see basically most of modern day politics like jumping off a cliff. A lot of people jumped off a cliff and started falling, and gravity started taking effect. And he went, but I like the view here. Tough. You already jumped off the cliff. You're going to the bottom. They are a series of foundational beliefs that once you agree with them, equality, it takes you to a place which is evil. It doesn't matter whether you like the idea of equality. The moment it starts getting implemented, well, now we're in evil territory. And so I actually... 90s liberalism is a belief system which sounds really nice, and the moment it gets implemented, it's awful. It destroys countries, it destroys families, it destroys everything. And so you can like the sound of it, but you should also be aware that it just can't exist. It's a deluded reality.
People pleaser.
Yeah, it's a cop-out. And the thing is, most of these people were never expected to think about politics. I actually think of it as national abuse to make most people think about politics. They're not equipped for it. They don't spend the time thinking about it. This isn't on their level. You're asking them about ideas they can't even comprehend. And so I actually think it's a horrible thing to make people think about politics most of the time. Most people just want to be told how to live a good, satisfying, happy life. And if they're told that if you get married at 19 and have kids and that'll make you happy, that's what they want. They don't want to think about the various different forms of political organization and all the different politics and the fallout of everything. It's an awful thing to subject people to. And so I think things like that are just a fallout of people having to think about things they should never be required to. But yeah, I think that entire thing is a cliff that you jump off. The moment you agree with one thing, you're doomed. You're already going down to the bottom, or you don't jump off at all. And this is why I think people generally need tough love. It's like, well, I feel we should... It doesn't matter what you feel. Tough. You can't do it. They just need to be told that it's it's impossible to have in reality, rather than pandered to. And when you pander to them, you end up in horrible situations.
I can definitely agree with that. I will defend Caleb. He is a lot more.
Oh, I like Caleb. This isn't anti-Caleb.
No. At least in terms of, as if he is a 90s liberal politics wise, he is still a lot more informed than a lot of people who preach a lot of political talking points. And I can appreciate that he is a more well-researched person statistically than some of the people he talks to.
I think
Yeah,
Caleb is
okay.
being confronted on a daily basis by reality, and he's losing patience for it by the day. That's what I
And that's
think.
the problem. When you have so many people that want handouts, I think then you turn to conservatism.
Well, it's
That
reality.
word.
That's the thing. It's like, yeah, we could all think that magic money can just fall out of the trees and we'll all be fine. It's not realistic. And so he is forced to run into that real life wall every single day with new people, which is telling me it's wrong. And I think that's why he's losing patience. And it is just a matter of time. The moment you have to confront reality,
Yeah.
that's it.
And I'm not saying he's political, but he's at least informed in a lot of things, in a lot of life matters, in stats. He definitely knows a lot more than me.
Well, also, a lot of people have two sets of political beliefs. So I would have like mine, which is if I could only change one thing and I'm living in the world that I'm living in. And then I would have mine if I'm the God King and it could also change all the other laws in the universe to be the way I want. And those can actually be two entirely different philosophies of what's politically feasible in the current real world and what's politically feasible if you could change other things. So
Yeah.
it's
when it
tough in
comes
that
to
regard.
budgets, it's really hard to work within that. And I get why it's hard to enact change. But if you really want to enact change, to you woke activists, try to become someone in government. If that's
Try
the
to
case.
not be ass.
Yeah. Daniel Moore for €2.49. Rejoining the EU is as repulsive as eating bugs. I don't like eating bugs. So
Yeah. I mean, the problem with the UK and the EU at the moment is we left, but we didn't change anything. So we have all the same laws. We obey all the same laws. Essentially the difference is we can't move freely, and there are places in the EU I would definitely move to. So we've lost the advantage of being able to move, but we kept all the bad things. I think if we had disconnected entirely, that would be way better. But you're fighting a political system that doesn't want to leave, and so all we've essentially lost is good stuff, and we've gained nothing. Could have gained a lot though.
Dan Vicious for 2, need to stream on Rumble so I can Rumble ran. You just super chatted, so thank you.
I think that's a wicked. Yeah, but it's probably so I can say stuff that I couldn't say here. I'm guessing.
Yeah. We'll ask Wicked because she just started Kick, which I probably should have kept an eye on Kick, but I didn't. So I'll check it in a moment. OG Cylon for 5. Disprove. Thunderstorms have lightnings. Lots of that. That's the actual danger. Winds can get up to 110 kilometers per hour.
I suppose so. Yeah, if you've got a huge scaffolding structure, yeah, I could see why lightning would be a problem if you've got scaffolding on a stage. That makes sense. I didn't know they had thunderstorms though. I thought people said weather. Well, the UK doesn't really have like strong weather either way. It's like rain. We rarely have things like thunderstorms and stuff. Tornadoes.
Read that. Albert Not a Retro for 5 Canadian. Look in the post section of the channel. It's the 5th one down. I'm banned from Twitter. It's written, not a video. The thing is, we're not able to get to your channel. Like, I don't know how to get to your channel. I don't know. Sorry.
Does he mean Wicked's channel? Like, no, this is the thing. I don't like. It's not our channel, right? So the post section. Does she allow other people to post?
I will. Maybe it's a reply.
It's way easier if you just DM me on Twitter, to be honest.
Oh, he says he's banned from Twitter.
Oh.
This is awkward. Email disbrew@gmail.com. I don't know. Big Papa Pump for 5.
Look, if you can't say it in a super chat, I don't know what you want.
Yeah.
I don't know what post you mean.
To be fair, if I got any type of service from Grand/Extra Girl, I would be in a full salute post too. Paula, if you hear me, I got your hookup.
Well, Gran was specifically into that kind of thing. Gran was in the game.
Liked her lanyard in a certain spot. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, she even dragged him into the workroom in the secret ending.
That's true. Albert Not a Retro for 10 Canadian. It is against the law. It's just under a different name, which is wrong. Sex with a prisoner is a crime. It's considered coercion. I'm an MRA. The Honey Badgers have talked about it a lot. What does MRA mean?
Yeah, it is a law, but the fact that it's against it's considered SA, which is an entirely different lower category than what men have. This is the point. It's not that, oh yeah, well, I mean, you still get punished for it. Yeah, to a lesser degree. But the fact that it's not considered on the same level is that's the hypocrisy of it. As to a prisoner, yeah, you can get done for it, but they still do it. Like, they shouldn't be in the male prison in the first place. That's the problem. This is like putting a kid in a sweet store. Why would you do that in the first place? You're asking for trouble. Like, it's the entire point that you think they should be allowed to do it. Would you put a man in a female prison? It seems like a really stupid idea. I wouldn't be doing that. What do you mean?
Yeah.
You know, this is the entire point with oh no, women can be anywhere. No, actually, no, they shouldn't. Why would you expect that?
And the last one so far, it only took an hour and a half. Sorry, Wicked.
Yes.
For $5 from Monkey, what do you tell a woman with 2 black eyes? Nothing.
I've heard this one before.
I've
heard this one before.
She's already been told twice. Okay, can I just bring in? Okay, thank you, Monkey, by the way. I do want to talk about one thing, since I know you've watched this and I've watched this, and
Can you talk about this for a minute while I be right back?
Sure. Solo Leveling. If you watch Solo Leveling at all, chat, I recently watched Solo Leveling and have loved it. I've watched all of it. It took all of, I don't know, 3 to 4 weeks in total to watch this. And I think with how successful Chainsaw Man and by the way, which I know at the end of the month, a movie will be on Crunchyroll from Demon Slayer, which I'm freaking excited for. So between those 2 movies, it looks like Solo Leveling is following in the footsteps with a movie of their own, which I am so freaking pumped for. A direct continuation of season 2 will be released in theaters. I don't know when, but there's a little promo which we'll watch when Disper is back. I'm excited for this. I don't know if anyone else is excited for this. Is it just me? Anyone else want to see this? Because this looks good. If you guys haven't watched Solo Leveling, I would highly recommend. It is very good. It is like a gamer's wet dream if you were to be put in a world where you become, awakened in a sense, and you get powers. But no matter what you do, you are stuck at the level that you are. No matter what, you can, I suppose you can increase your agility and all these little things and increase your intelligence and whatnot, but it's not like a level experience-based thing. So to kind of get into this, the movie, which we've seen at least from the show, will be a continuation of season 2, and I'm really excited for this. Jesper, are you excited for a Solo Leveling movie?
Is this so? It says a direct continuation of season 2. I'm assuming this has been worked on for a while, because season 2 was out, I think it was last year. Love the show. A lot of people critique it because like, well, it's really simple. It's like, yeah, but this took me onto a whole new genre. I love animes where it's like, I've been transported into this world and I level up. I don't know. It combines a lot of things, but it is basically a hero story of a guy works up from nothing to become something really powerful.
Yes.
And Solo Leveling really does well the power fantasy of it all. Like, everyone else around him is like this. And you see, it sets up the system. And then by the end of it, like even season 2, even the people at the peak are like, this guy is like 10 of me. I can't believe this guy is so strong. And so you constantly get this sort of power fantasy, just impressive level of, oh, he's turned up, you're in trouble now. And so, when it comes to the movie, I'd love the movie to come out like now. I love Solo Leveling.
Within this next season / next movie, this show kind of does have to end because he's reached the peak of what humanity has to offer.
No, because now people have told me that the manga is finished. So it's a completely finished story.
So we know where we're going.
They know where they're going. They know the end point and everything else.
Okay.
And the way... Okay, so I don't know whether that was in the anime. So there was a mobile game of this, and I played that, and that goes up to a point, and I can't remember whether it was in the anime or not. In the anime, was there people from another world? That's what I'm going to say. Was the people that turned up at the end of season 2?
Were there people? Is that a question that you're asking?
Yeah, I'm not sure where it ended. I don't know where the game took me compared to the actual anime itself. I think there were 2 people that turned up from it, like, because it's okay. So what I know for sure,
I'm saying yes, because he defeated the thing.
Yes, but then I think other people turned up after that event and were like, "Oh my god, he's defeated this guy."
It's going over my head right now because it's yeah.
Yeah, so I think in the anime it had a couple of people turn up who was like, "Oh, this is this guy, and this guy's explaining this, and he's defeated these kind of things," and they are already above like the ant people, which on that Earth were already that. And I think we've met other people that were destroying other people that were previously S ranked. So there was a guy that came through, and they thought he was like one of the I can't remember. They thought he was an NPC player, and he wasn't, and he escaped. And so there's more levels you can go. Essentially, it's like Yu Yu Hakusho, where basically once you're the strongest people on Earth, you just introduce other dimensions or other worlds and things. And I think that's where they're going next.
If this is as someone who is very not into reading manga, if this is the next level, I'm all for it. Because
there's a whole level of it, right? Like, where did the game come from? Like, where are the monsters coming from? There's a whole obvious direction you can take it, where he now has to defeat this, and he doesn't know where they are. And all you need to do is keep increasing the power levels. And as long as you keep doing that, he can keep advancing. It's like, this is something Stargate does really well. So Stargate starts, and you go through a world into a few worlds, and you're kind of fighting the Goa'uld. But then later on, you start introducing further galaxies, and you have like Stargate Atlantis. Then you have Stargate Universe, which is going off into other other galaxies entirely on a regular basis.
God damn it, Drew.
Yeah, well, no, because those are just the future spin-offs. I haven't said anything about them.
I'm just kidding.
But as long as you keep expanding the world, you can keep expanding the power level. As long as you keep having the world.
Oh
It's like, have you ever seen Person of Interest?
With different computers.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Matrix does it. Like, it takes into the real world and stuff. You end up fighting all those people. But Person of Interest does it really well, where it starts on like you're just a guy stopping street level villains, but by the end you're stopping apocalyptic level scenarios. So as long as you keep expanding, it works.
Yeah. So I didn't watch this, whatever this trailer
I haven't
might
either.
be. And so this is going to be a cold watch. And I'm sorry, Wicked, if you have to cut this out, but it is what it is.
No sound. Oh.
Sorry, it was very low.
It's だったか考えたことがある。この力も結果も果たして自分で得たものであったのかと。焦りは疑いを覆い隠して満ちてゆく日々は失ったものを気づかせない。いや、目を背けていただけだったのか。安寧が何も生み出さないことは分かっている。綺麗事の希望も結局何ももたらさない。あの日の悲鳴がまだどこかで響く。痛みが進めと促してくる。
They're doing a really good job of not telling you anything.
Yeah, but it's...
俺は成長するしかないのだから。
Literally nothing.
We literally got told nothing. But at
That
the
was a
same time,
waste of time.
a whole minute and a half. But yet this was more enticing than Supergirl.
So I know some of the stuff that happens from the games, and I've got some of the manga. I was collecting them at some point. I need to continue. But I was collecting them at the time when the series was out, and so the ones I wanted were always out of stock, so I never got them. And so I know some of the things after the anime of what he does next. I don't know what that was about. Like, that doesn't show anything that I know.
We got to see him say, "Oh, we're gonna level up, more creatures to arise." I did like the line stagnation creates. I forgot what it was. Stability creates stagnation. So it kind of is a bit of a foreshadowing. Like, okay, now that the world is good, there's gonna be more evil. And I guess
Well, yeah, I mean, he has to keep. This is why it's so like. And you find this with a lot of anime. It works into sort of just basic core human concepts. Like, you have to keep advancing forwards. You have to keep improving every single day. You have to get. Like, it's like his dailies. Yeah, he has to work out a little bit, but after a week, a year, 10 years, he's so much further along than he would have done if he hadn't done just a little bit every day. And so this is why it's so much better than Supergirl. Supergirl was, you're fine how you are, just be a slob. Whereas his is, no, keep improving, because you have to. Because if you don't improve yourself a bit today, then in 5 years, all your friends are going to die. And that is a hell of a motivator. And so, yeah, it works really well. And this has always been the difference between, like, so women as far more being, no, you're healthy at any size, it doesn't matter. Whereas men have been, if I don't lift this weight, all my family are going to die and I'm gay. Like, that has been the motivation of men lifting weights since the beginning of time. I have to do this next set, otherwise everyone's going to die.
And, like, I think what bothers me about, like, body positivity is if you are actually okay being what you are, what you look like you are, accept it. Don't throw it in people's faces as it's the end all be all of everything. This is the peak female physicality. No, it's not.
No, I'm pro Asian mom fat shaming. Like,
No,
shame is the key to everything. That's why Asians are not overweight, because their mothers will shame their daughters. They'll be like, "You're a pound overweight, you fat slob." Like, they will cut you off immediately. It's about standards. Like, society needs standards. It needs reinforcement.
Yeah, and this delusion that we're trying to create, like, you can be healthy at any size. That is so false as a fact.
Well, I also think you'll see that die out instantaneously. I think that came from fat celebrities. And the moment it became profitable to be slim, the moment those jabs came in where they could make a lot of money by selling them to you, that'll go immediately. I don't think we'll hear that ever again.
It did. It went so fast.
Even Jeremy Clarkson is losing weight. That's a fact. And like, Jeremy Clarkson is talking to another guy on his farm going, "Those jabs are working well on you." Like, that's how mainstream it's becoming at this point.
Yeah.
Although, again, wouldn't personally recommend them. They destroy your bones. That's what we know about them.
With any weight loss in general, if it goes too fast, you lose it in your hair, your skin, your bones. Unfortunately, it's just
stop eating cake. You don't need medication. Just stop eating cake.
It's not, I think the biggest thing that I have learned for most people, the quickest way to lose weight is to stop drinking pop and juice, drink water, and stop drinking alcohol, as I have drank alcohol tonight. But
I think it's carbs. You have a mechanism in your stomach that will tell you when you're full for protein. Carbs are not protein. It doesn't trigger the full mechanism. And so if you just cut out carbs, you'll be fine. I actually think if you're on keto, it's physically impossible to overeat, because you just cannot cram enough meat into your face in order to actually be over that. You just feel full. And so I think that's the key.
Absolutely. Dan Vicious for 2 says, was trying to recommend a video on YouTube. Won't let me. You can't share links unless you're mods on YouTube. So if you want, just post under the Twitter post for the show, and maybe we can watch that and see it there.
And we'd likely, unless it's like literally seconds, have to watch it after. You can't watch like a 15-minute video on stream. You just can't.
It's not our channel either. So we have to be extra careful in the sense like of taking care of Wicked's channel.
Yeah, what we've just watched will almost certainly get the chat kicked out and it have to get edited out. Like, you can't really watch YouTube videos on other YouTube videos.
Yeah. Albert, not a retro for 5 Canadian. I'm on your side with the forced envelopment law. It should all be the same thing, but not the Ukraine. Read up on the Soviet occupation back in the day.
Look, if Ukraine want to defend themselves, fine. I don't want to pay for it. And I think it's more horrific to drag on a war which is killing Ukrainian men than to just allow them to be defeated as they should be because they can't compete.
And then just lick your wounds and hopefully go back to something semblance of normal life. I would rather, like, I have some coworkers that grew up in the Lebanon war, and like he was telling me how he would say bye to his friends and their places would be bombed, and he'd been like, oh, I guess they're dead. It's kind of
it's like if we went to war with the Welsh. You are doing the Welsh no favors by dragging on a war. We would beat the Welsh.
Yeah.
It's like at some point, like losing a war just happens. Some people are stronger than you. There's a very weird attitude towards war in modern times.
I don't know what the best route is, but I don't think spending money incessantly is also good either.
Care-based morality is evil when it's scaled above that of a home. That is what we are doing. We have wiped out a generation of Ukrainian people for a war they cannot win. That is not good. That is evil. That's what you are doing. You are destroying an entire people. That country will never exist ever again because they now don't have a generation of people to breed. That is horrific.
Mm. Kind of like our generations here sometimes.
Well, yeah, but at least they decided to not breed voluntarily.
That's true. It was a choice.
Have you seen Ukrainian people? Have you seen Ukrainian women? They definitely would have bred.
Ukrainians, very beautiful. I would have to say FIFA World Cup has shown me some of the most beautiful countries and some of the ugliest men out there. That's I judged, okay?
Look, this is the thing. There are just areas of the world which are objectively more beautiful than anywhere else. And that is like Eastern Europe and Scandinavia. And it is like, oh, you haven't seen Miami. Oh, please. They just all look like Instagram filters. Compare them to your average Scandinavian.
You're a Ukrainian 5, but an American 10.
Basically, yeah. And it is, a lot of that comes down to war. Oh, why are the Scandinavians like so incredibly attractive? Well, they went to all the foreign countries and they took all the best looking women. That's basically why.
Yep. Dan Vicious for 2 says sent Disper a DM. Wasn't linked, just recommendation. Oh, there you go. Check that out. Now, while you're doing that, I'm going to tell you what I am doing for the next few days. Tomorrow, Forbidden Frontier, 6:30 p.m. Eastern on Nerdrotic Live, as well as myself, Extra Girl Everywhere. I am doing Stargate watches Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern and Thursdays at between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern. Extra Girl or on Locals, extragirl.locals.com. So if you guys are interested, you can check me out over there. I'm very excited because I really, 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 really love the show a lot. Anyways, that's my spiel. Disbrew.
I posted a Supergirl video about the Hollywood Reporter's article and what they seem to be trying to do and blame James Gunn for everything, which I'm not against. I just think that I don't think we should let the writer off for the movie that she wrote, which it seems to be what they're trying to do. Also probably talk about the Odyssey. Not so much the trailer, just because the trailer just showed things we've already seen. But the Odyssey is a movie where I think it's more interesting to talk about the things around the Odyssey than the movie itself. I actually do think that the Odyssey might just be a boring pile of nothing happening. From what we've got in the trailers, it's really not pitching that this is going to be a movie where a lot happens. And I've seen Tenet. It's trash. I am not a Nolan bro, so I'm not confident that he can make the decent, actually an entertaining story, but here we are. But I am interested in a lot of the conversation about it and the excuses and the accusations. So that's probably the more interesting part of the movie for me. I'll see it, but I don't expect to. I don't know how Nolan became this figure where it's like, oh my God, Nolan's making a movie. Yeah. I like the first Batman 2 movies, but after that, he's been ass. I don't get it. But
it is
such is life.
It is. And hey, he's got a lot of fans. A lot of fans. Actually, kind of.
Well, that's the interesting thing, though. Like, people are like, this movie's going to make $1 billion. Is it? Is that the line that we're drawing in the sand of whether it's success or not? Or is it just going to be break even? Or is it going to be profitability? Because if you're spending, what was it, like $250 million on a movie, presumably you want to make at least like 250 back.
700,000 at least, right?
Well, yeah, but people have been using break even as sort of the bottom metric for superhero movies. But actually, if you got all your investors, so if I gave you $100,000, what would be a decent return? Well, I could lose the $100,000, right? So you'd think you'd want to at least make $100,000 back as profit.
At least.
And so, like, I think movies have decreased to such a point where you're like, people think getting their money back is a good no.
Ladies, don't lower your standards, okay?
The ladies are not the one putting money into a relationship.
But okay, before finding out the casting, I could have maybe let go of Athena. But between Helena Troy and Elliot Page, even if it's small, minute casting, and then just seeing how bland it looks, I would have said before that, the first trailer, 1 billion. I think 600,000 to 800,000 is more likely. At this rate.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's still a profitable movie.
Yeah.
But if Spider-Man beats it, like, doesn't it feel like Nolan gets way more respect than Spider-Man? Like, people treat Nolan like some kind of massive artist who's because even all the things he was doing, and I think he's right. I can't remember his name. The guy that was in The Rip. The main Matt Damon. Matt Damon was like, everyone working on the set could earn more doing anything else, and I think that's true. I'm sure it's true.
Yeah.
But what's his name? Tom Holland said that actually the recording for The Odyssey clashed with when they were supposed to be recording Spider-Man, and so we had to phone up Sony and be like, "Can we just delay this? Because I can't do both, and I want to do that." And they actually delayed the entire filming of all of the Spider-Man movie just to not clash with The Odyssey. And I said, yeah, but Spider-Man is bigger. If Spider-Man makes more at the box office, it's bigger, but it doesn't get any of the respect that Nolan does, which is kind of a weird clash.
Yeah.
I just think that kind of stuff's interesting. That stuff may not actually be that successful, but people build this kind of aura around them, this kind of respect. Is that deserved? Did Barbie carry him in the last movie? That's what I'm interested in, actually. How much of that was Oppenheimer and how much of that was Barbie?
Because if I, as a girl, I would look at the two movies and say, interested in Barbie, for sure. I would never be interested in Oppenheimer. I'm sorry. I never even watched it as a girl.
Yeah, so I think a lot of that was like relationship stuff. So the boyfriend was like, look, I'll go and see Barbie if you go and see Oppenheimer. And that that boosted both sides. But it was a major meme. How many people went out of one screening into the other? That's what's going to be interesting. Because no one expected Oppenheimer to do that. So Barbie definitely helped it. It's just a question of how much.
Yeah. I guess the numbers will tell. In 2 weeks, we'll find out. I'm actually crazy. It's in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Nobody seems to be... It seems to be big in like online circles. But
Right,
actually in the
in
real
real
world, I don't really see that much about it.
No.
I don't see your average guy talking about it. So
No.
yeah, your IMAX screen sell out instantly because there's enough of an online interest that... And there's so few IMAX screens that, yeah, they sell out immediately. But the general interest, that'll be interesting.
Yeah. Albert not a retro for 10 Canadian. Patton was right. We should have crushed Russia after World War II. By the way, Disparate
Good luck.
You're Germany. Oh, wait, you didn't need to learn it because other nations helped.
I mean, good luck crushing Russia after World War II. I mean, you wouldn't have even taken Germany without them. It's just not feasible. There's a reason why Stalin was a horrible person, and yet we still allied with him, because Russia was a powerful nation. You can't take Russia. It's too big. The amount of people you would need to occupy it is just astronomical.
It's hard
not
to
feasible.
maintain the borders, yeah. Just handed over for 10. The investors are corporations now. Hollyweird does not care about profit. No, they don't. They get their money up front. It's why the budgets have skyrocketed. The debt is left with shareholders.
That's always it's the rule in Hollywood. Famous rule: never use your own money. Well, if they won't use their own money, they're not that confident in it, are they? So yeah, I'm not sure that's a good.
That's deal. How rich people stay rich as well. They try not to use their own money; they use other people's. So.
Well, yeah, but after the last decade of Hollywood, maybe make them.
Now, Disparate, did I ask you what you're doing? Yes, you answered. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, I have to pee. Y'all know when
That's
I try
how it goes.
It's because I got a whiz. New vocab. So Wicked, I hope you enjoy listening to this back and that you're proud of us. And I'm sorry I got drunk. Anyways. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the conversation. Thank you, Disparu, for handling when I had to go pee earlier. Yeah. I hope you all have a great evening. I would say I'm going to send you to someone, but I can't. So I do believe my Asian brethren, Phil, is probably live right now because he usually is. So you should go to his channel, check it out, say hi.
He's probably got a hot woman on the screen. That's the only thing I've learned about his stream, I think. Every time I see a clip of his stream, there's some kind of hot woman on his screen.
He knows how to please his audience. So, Project Egg Roll. See you guys. Thank you. Happy 4th of July, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.